Warm greetings from the high 10. It's Everyday Shenanigans. Thanks for joining me. Amen, amen. Come on in, everybody. Have a seat. Let's get this discussion started about the missing boys of Cal City. Court TV has uploaded a video to YouTube pertaining to the children missing. Amen to Court TV for highlighting this horrific case of missing children, missing African-American boys out of California. Kudos to them for taking on this heinous disappearance of children missing. Amen. Thank you, Mr. Politan. God bless you. We will be watching and tuning in to the information that you all bring forth. As most of you know who watched the video, that it's the basic information that you've already seen of Jacqueline and Trezelle West giving their commentary pertaining to the day their children went missing. Live interview footage is what you will see in that said YouTube video. Hello, everybody. I will play a snippet of the video, most of it. You can go verify for yourself. YouTube is the source and Court TV is the source for the said information. During this live, I would kind of like to keep the commentary based around the video surveillance that was uploaded to social media by a YouTuber. Most of you already know the person. Know that in that said commentary, when you go to Court TV and or YouTube, you will not see the video in the commentary. Mr. Politan has promised that they will be getting that or are working on that, to get the said video, which I find it very interesting that he alluded to the fact that he saw the video or saw it, but yet didn't have it to show to the general public. So nonetheless, I do find it interesting why he doesn't have it. So now I have to ask myself, did he need permission to play the video, or is someone wanting some funds for the video? Yeah, I said that because I was wondering why he didn't have it. If he has seen it, to verify that he only saw 4 children and adults in the video, allegedly. That's a very interesting subject matter too. If you want to bring that up after I play the video, give my commentary, you will be able to hit the link to come up. Please respect the hostess, the mods in the chat. That is the said information. Thank you all for joining me. Hello, California. Thank you. Is this Risty Shell R? Well, thank you, dear. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Terry, Gen C, OG, Dime a Dozen, Query 63, Jen. All of you, thank you. This should be an interesting live, but let's try to keep the commentary based around the video because that's what I'm discussing tonight. I'm going to try to stick with just the video as the main topic. I know that when we talk about Cal City, it can go 50,000 different ways. People start bringing up all the he said, she said, this, that, and the other. I don't really want to get into any of that extra stuff because I really wanted to stick to what Mr. Politan showed on Court TV, which his discussion is about the video, what was alleged in the video. So I want to try to stick in that realm or in the first few days pertaining to the case. That's where I want to maintain. I do not want to go off the grid on other commentary pertaining to the boys missing. Thank you so much. Audio from the YouTube video.
Shut the gate. Go in the house. Why did it take both of y'all to go in the house and leave them outside by themselves?
I understand.
And y'all know the gate was
Why
open.
haven't y'all been out with the people around this neighborhood looking? We already told you on camera.
I saw no cameras last night. I need to see y'all out here praying with them people. Them people was out to take care of my nephew. This not supposed to happen.
I understand.
Y'all was supposed to take care of my nephew.
I understand.
I want to explain to you what you just saw. That is the biological family screaming at the adoptive parents of 2 little boys, Orrin and Orson West, 3 and 4 years old. They went missing. That was from back in December. They went missing just before Christmas in December. And still, as we sit here tonight on this Friday, these children have not been found. No one's been charged. No one's been arrested. And the children have not been located. It's utterly...
Oh, sorry about that. I leaned off of there for a minute. Hold on. Sorry about that.
Utterly frustrating. Our great affiliate, KERO in Bakersfield, has the story.
Stop. These things are
Commercials.
Do it.
Sorry about
The
that.
Cal City community is still distraught over the 2 missing boys. There is now a new addition to the neighborhood. This is a small memorial, leaving candles and toys, hoping the toddlers come home safely.
All have to get together as a community and just try to help find these children ourselves and do the best we can.
With guns drawn, authorities enter the California City home of Trezell and Jacqueline West, the adoptive parents of 3-year-old Orson West and 4-year-old Orrin West. The parents told authorities their 2 boys disappeared from their backyard on December 21st and believe someone kidnapped them.
They do not just roam around, these patches. They definitely would have been picked up or something.
We have no way of knowing how they got out of the yard. Nothing that shows how they got out of the yard and if they wandered out of the yard.
California City Police Chief John Walker believes this is now more than just a missing persons case. He believes foul play was involved.
Someone knows, and I would hope that person would come forward.
And that's why Walker says authorities have paid so much attention on the couple's home, even digging up the backyard.
We're just trying to dig up any clues that we can possibly find to find out where they had gone, and also to confirm that they're not in the backyard.
It's a noise like jackhammering or roto hammering, like they were trying to dig through dirt or break concrete.
The adoptive parents gave their account of what happened, claiming that the 2 boys went outside to play with chalk while their adoptive mother wrapped their Christmas presents. Their adoptive father said that he left the gate open. When he realized the boys were gone, he began searching for them. The adoptive parents declined an interview today, saying police advised them to stay inside, leaving some to wonder why.
I would be nonstop looking if it was my child. He wouldn't even keep me inside.
200 volunteers who dedicated around 4 hours looking for any clues that could lead to the West boys' whereabouts. Some volunteers shared with 23ABC that they walked nearly 5 miles canvassing the area. Amongst the group were the boys' biological mother.
If they find my kids, can they just give them back to me? Whatever I have to do to work on it to get them. I have a home, I have a car, I have a job, I have money. It's nothing to provide for them. I come from a good background, as you can see, and I don't understand. I just want my babies. If they find them, just give them back to me, please. That's all I want.
Throughout the search, you could occasionally hear groups shouting and waving to law enforcement if they found something of interest. And if it turned out to be an item of possible significance, it was then taken in for analyzation. But there was one item they found that stood out.
Basically, what we found was a piece of or a gift bag with the name of one of the children on it. But being in such close proximity to the house, that's not super unusual. But it's something we definitely want to take a look at.
Although the boys have yet to be located and no arrests have been made or suspects named, this community says they will ensure the boys won't be overlooked.
From every neighbor you guys spoke to, not a single sight of them.
No.
When was the most recent that a neighbor cited they'd seen the kids?
None of the neighbors have seen the kids.
Ever?
Despite search efforts that haven't turned up anything, neighbors are still trying to think positive during a dark time in this small community.
Hopefully, they'll find the children alive.
Waiters always look at me and think that I'm going to have a little salad, maybe a soup, and that'll be the whole meal. And when I do my actual order,
That's what everyone's hoping for. But as each day goes by, hopes start to dim a little bit. Let's bring in our special guest joining us tonight in Charleston, South Carolina. His partner was just on. He's also the host of Profiling Evil, also the host of The Interview Room with Chris McDonough. Chris McDonough is back with us. Great to see you, Chris.
Hey, Vinny, thank you. Appreciate being here.
First of all, I'd like to get your initial thoughts about this case and the investigation into finding these 2 little boys.
Yeah, so it's a real mystery. Number one, because there are 2 children, that in of itself is, we would classify that as, quite odd and quite rare statistically. And then second, the environment, situation, and the circumstance as a whole seems like to be a very low risk scenario where if the backyard's in play and the stepdad just kind of loses attention or loses, the attention on keeping an eye on the kids, and now they've just vanished, absolutely vanished. That in of itself just opens up another can of worms.
You know, every time I cover a story like this, I get together with our producers and we try to piece together a timeline. And my guess is investigators try to do that as well. There's a significant piece of evidence in this case, and I want to put it up on the screen. There's some surveillance video. Now, we don't have this surveillance video to show you tonight, but we will be getting it. But on December 19th of 2020, a neighbor's security camera shows, it's very, very grainy, folks. So you can't tell who these people are. But an adult is seen holding the door open to a van. 4 children enter the van. The van drives away. The van returns and 2 adults exit. Now, for this case, Chris, doing a timeline to me starts with a math equation, because this young couple in their 30s, believe it or not, have 6 children, 2 biological, 4 adopted. 2 of the adopted are the 2 that are missing. They're the youngest. They have publicly spoken and said that the other 4 children were at grandma's. They brought the other 4 to grandma's. They say that Orrin and Orson disappeared on the 21st, okay? So now, I'm going to do a little math. On December 19th, 4 children enter the van. They have 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. Where are these 2 on the 19th, Chris? That's what I want to know. Where are they?
Yeah, great call, Vinny. I mean, here, the math speaks for itself. And so, as an investigator, that's the first question you're going to ask, right? I mean, you're going to bring the family, you're going to sit down with them, and you're going to say, look, 6 minus 4 is 2, and those 2 are missing. So, let's talk about that first. And so, in these types of cases, obviously with kids, your first 24 hours are critical. I mean, critical mass is like, the clarity of the focus of that investigation. But in this case, to your point, if that surveillance is picking up those 4 kids a couple of days before they're even reported, the other 2 are reported missing, yeah, that's a huge red flag. And they're going to focus pretty heavily on some search warrants to get in that house fast.
Yeah, they've already dug up the backyard. They didn't find anything in the backyard. Now, here's the problem. They're 3 and 4 years old. So, and what they said is that the other 4 went to grandma's house, but they didn't bring Orrin and Orson to grandma's house because they were too young and they're sort of rambunctious, which, okay, maybe makes sense. You don't want to overburden grandma. I don't even know how these 30-year-olds could handle 6 children. God bless them, because they're all 10 years old and younger. But they said the 4 older ones are at grandma's. Now, they said that. Then I see the surveillance video. That, to me, that's got to be them driving to Bakersfield to drop off the 4 kids, because they come back without them. So,
yep,
someone has to watch a 3 and 4-year-old. I mean, it hasn't been that long since I had children that young. You don't leave a 3 and 4-year-old home alone, Chris.
Yeah, and that is the exact place I would start as well, Vinny. First thing I'd say is, well, who'd you leave them with? And, see where it goes. I mean, because if there is this other, unknown caretaker, well, by golly, let's identify that person. Let's see what they say. Maybe they're involved. I don't know. But, it certainly is suspicious in nature if this video, turns out to be, what we think it could be. It's bad. It's not good.
Now, the other thing that we've heard, Cal City is a very small town. There's 13 police officers in the entire department. I mean, there's some other cases I know that they're investigating that it's difficult with that level of manpower, and they have help from other agencies. But it seems right now this investigation has moved really to Bakersfield, and Bakersfield is taking the lead. How significant is that, Chris? And what could we potentially read into that?
Yeah, so, Cal City, the chief there, Walker, former LAPD guy, and if they have exhausted, that particular, what we call contact site, okay, i.e. that particular first crime scene, then they're going to start looking outside of that circle, and they're going to go to the secondary, contact sites potentially, and that could be Bakersfield, where the family used to live. And so what they're going to do is they're going to work in conjunction with them. And basically the 2 agencies are going to collaborate with each other and say, look, you have more resources than we do. Let's shift roles here. You start taking the lead as primary, we'll start picking up, the support mechanisms in relationship to this entire investigation. And they'll probably pull in other resources as well from the federal side and or other state resources in relationship to, manpower who can actually put some boots on the ground.
Absolutely. And again, as we sit here tonight, no one's been named as a suspect. We have no idea what happened to these children, and the investigation continues. Chris McDonough, Profiling Evil, YouTube, The Interview Room with Chris McDonough. Thanks for joining us on this Friday night, Chris.
Thanks, Vinny. Appreciate being here.
All right.
Look, did you know there was a government-funded education grant?
That's the said information thus far. Let's see. Okay. That's it. If you need verification for the information you just heard, please tune into Court TV and also YouTube. YouTube airs Court TV content if you need verification. I want to stick to the subject matter of the video. Politan mentioned that you see two people, 4 children going into a van, taking off in a van, then returning hours later with only 2 participants getting out of the van that appeared to be adults. So what one would have to ask themselves logically is, one, where did the adults take the 4 children? It says to grandma's house. That is what it was stated by the West couple, but they never specified which grandma they took the children to for vacation. Now, after the fact, which is 2 days later on the 21st, December 21st, 2020, the West couple called police to say that their children are missing. 2 small children are missing, and this unfolds the saga of what we're speaking of today. You see, the West hadn't planned on people really caring about 2 small Black babies. They didn't plan on you asking questions. They didn't plan on the police ever revealing what was said in their commentary, and they sure as hell didn't plan on Court TV picking up the story. They didn't plan on neighbors having surveillance, seeing him going back and forth, getting in and out of vans, he and his wife getting in and out of vans, doorbell cameras. They hadn't planned on that. And that is the whole point of the lie and the fraud, is because a suspects, plural, never plan on anyone ever verifying anything that they have done or said, because it is the behavior of a narcissist, a sociopath, to think that they are God. No one's going to tell anything. Nobody knows anything to tell anything. I am God. No one was going to squeal, snitch on me. And you are right. Thus far, no one has done so. Mr. Trezell West, Jacqueline West. Your cohorts and friends and family have stayed mum to your behavior, your demeanor, and the whereabouts of 2 small children that you were supposed to take care of. You see, they didn't plan on anyone asking the pertinent questions, but Mr. Politan can do that because he's the host of the show, Court TV. So where did they take the children exactly? Did they take them to one of the grandmother's house? Which one? And now that you report the children missing 2 days later, where were the 2 kids on the 19th? See, now you've messed yourself up because you didn't think this was ever going to get out. So I ask you, Jacqueline and Trezell, where were the 2 missing children on the 19th? Because 2 days later, you reported them missing. So that's a valid question. And I'd like to know, what did you tell the police, if at all, when this YouTube video came to light? Good God, the cops had to ask detectives, hey, there's a video out on YouTube of you all getting in your van with 4 children, minus the 2. But then you call us 2 days later to tell us you've got 2 small children missing. Well, how could that be? So where were the 2 when you got in the van with the 4? I'll wait. Could you imagine being a fly on the wall in that interrogation room, if indeed they did ask about the YouTube video? Where the hell were you, your two babies, while you and the four were getting in the van and you returned with just yourselves, minus no children? That's my main question. Did law enforcement ask Jacqueline and Trezell West about the YouTube video that has gone viral around the world and back? Did they ask them where were the two missing children on the 19th during the video surveillance of them getting into the van with four children and returning hours later with no children? Oh, Lordy. That's the main question. What did the children say, the four remaining children, when asked about their missing siblings? When was the last time you saw them? How did they look? How did they act? How did mommy and daddy act? What did the children tell the detectives about the two children missing? You see, as I keep telling you about lying, everyone's not good at it. And you can't expect a 3-year-old child, because from my understanding, there's another three-year-old involved in this case, which is a living child that is now in state's custody. So thank you, El Canton, for the super chat. Thank you so much. You see, a 3-year-old can't remember to lie as well as a 10-year-old, 9-year-old. I could tell you all day, hey, someone asks you this, say this. You better not say nothing or you're going to get a spanking or you're going to get in trouble. But do you actually think a 3 or 4-year-old is going to remember 30 minutes from now, an hour now, to hold that lie? Probably not. Probably not. The 10-year-old boy, I can see holding the lie, depending on how long this lie has been going on, because we don't even have verification of that. But let's say it's spur of the moment. Hey, some people are going to come around asking questions. You tell them this, 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 and this. 10-year-old may hold the lie, perhaps, but not those baby toddlers. They're not going to remember to hold the lie. And see, I got a funky feeling they have not held the lie. And we're not going to ever know what was said by those children until this case is able to be brought forth by law enforcement of every dirty deed and conversation. I pray that that day comes soon, sooner than later. But that's what this Court TV's commentary is mainly about. The video. What was said to law enforcement after the fact? Because you know they had to have said something to them about the video. Where were the missing two? You got in with 4. Sure, they even asked, which 4 did you put into the van? What did they say? What answer did they give about where 2 were missing? Where 2 went to? Who had the 2? So are we saying the children went missing on the 19th? I'll wait. What do we say? Bakersfield Police Department now has the case. The chief has spoken and basically said, if you have any information to the whereabouts of the children within a year. So that would lead one to say, well, wait a minute. That's a mighty long time, chief. 1 year? I'm now to think the children have been gone a year, or you just throwing that number out there? 2 or 3 months would have been suffice, don't you think? If indeed someone had knowledge of the children in the past 2 to 3 months at the time when it was December. But when you say 1 year, one would logically think he's saying what he said, a whole year. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. As I said, T&J never expected for us to know anything about the beginning of this case, nor the end. And everything they did that first moment they went live to the news, told the story of them having knowledge of where the children are. They may never fold, but it's my belief that if you were to lock them up, one would roll on the other one, because they would finally get a taste of being locked up No freedom to roam. No more hiding. No more whispering. No more secrets. Okay, they got us. I gotta talk. Salvage some bit of a life to get out of here. So I'm gonna tell the detectives something. FBI something. This is Air Force One's comment to me earlier. We spoke before going live. Why didn't police take them to jail when the dog hit on the inside of the house only? Amen. You see, you have to make a mockery out of people. You see, you're handling these fools with kid gloves. These are not children. These are adults who know where those children are. So to let them walk and roam free and play these mind games with the public is atrocious, and it's disrespectful to the children and anybody who actually cares for the children. Throw them in jail, and you will get to the bottom of what happened to those kids. Because one thing about jail, she can be very cruel to you sometimes. Indeed. So just sitting inside may do you some good. Maybe you'll decide to tell the truth. The dog only hit on the inside of the said house, not outside, nothing. And cadaver dogs were brought in. And as the commentary says, the backyard was dug up, nothing was found. Inside, they checked everywhere inside the house possible for concealment of bodies, nothing. What is the evidence that the dogs hit on inside of the house? We were never told. Was it a shirt, pair of pants, pair of shoes, toothbrush, hairbrush? What was it? Because what I have to ask myself, if the children never made it there, as some of you have suspected, then exactly what evidence was it that the dogs hit on? Because if we're to believe Bakersfield Police Chief about having knowledge of the children a year back, let's just say he's giving us a hint that children been gone that long. Would they have anything of the children? You're still talking about 6 boys in the house, allegedly, in their care, allegedly. So what evidence was given by Trezell and Jacqueline West to law enforcement for the dogs to sniff? I bet you all never thought about that. You see, I keep telling you, everything you need to know is at the beginning of the story. That's why a story has a beginning. Who said what? Who didn't say anything? Who nodded? Who was quiet? Who was loud? Who cried? Who didn't cry? What you gave? What you didn't give? What evidence did the dog hit on to allude to the fact that it was even those 2 baby boys? I'll wait. No evidence that we know of. Of course, if it is, they won't reveal to us what it is they have on these 2 parents, adoptive parents. No one has spoken on behalf of Jacqueline and Trezell West. Not a friend, not a foe, not a family member. Why is that? The only person that led me to even believe that this was even an actual story is Ryan Dean, the bio donor of the children. Because you see, had she not came forward, I wouldn't even believe that this was a real story. I'm just going to go ahead and say that. I would not believe that this is an actual missing case had it not been for the bio mother coming forward saying that those were her children and she gave birth to them and no longer had custody of them. And that's atrocious for me to think that. But that's how I feel, because nobody will come forward to say anything about this couple, which I find baffling. Very baffling. Arrest them already. Enough is enough. Where are they? Where is Jacqueline and Trezell West? Why are they hidden? Why don't you see them shopping, going about? Because we hear a lot about the bio donor. As I state, you hear more about her than you hear about Jacqueline and Trezell. Don't you find that strange? You hear nothing of these two, not a peep, not a trip to Walmart, trip to Macy's, boarding a flight, getting off a flight, riding down the street in a car, bicycle, radio flyer wagon, skateboard, skates, nothing. Very strange. Stick to what you know, everybody. The beginning is where the evidence is. That video says a lot. And as I state, they never thought that the neighbors would ever give the video up to social media. And now, months later, Court TV has taken on the case of the missing Cal City boys. And now, with the grace of God, they will be able to air that said video so all of the world will be able to know about the missing boys out of Cal City. And it will no longer be a California secret, a YouTube secret, Facebook secret. It will now be the world's secret. People will now know that 2 black babies went missing out of Cal City back in December, and nobody has anything to say about where they are and how they can be located truthfully. Thank you, Court TV, for highlighting this devastating story. And I pray that the truth will be revealed pertaining to the whereabouts of these baby boys, and all those that are involved will be brought to justice in due time. And I don't care if you didn't have anything to do with harming the children, taking the children, hiding the children. The fact that you knew the children got gone and you knew that people were looking for them, that's a crime in itself. You didn't even have to touch them. You didn't have to hide them. You didn't have to put them in your car, but you have knowledge that they are alive or deceased. Whichever, you're just as guilty. And you deserve to go to prison too. Grainy video surveillance. Were the children already gone on December 19, 2020? And will we also find out that they were gone on the 19th of December, 2020, and they were also gone before December 19th? That would be the headbuster, to find out the children have been gone longer than December 21st, December 19th, way longer. Hit the link if you want to join the panel to give you the commentary on the Court TV, Mr. Politan's conversation pertaining to the Grainy video. Only 4 children and 2 adults getting into a van, returning later with only 2 adults. And naturally, this video was uploaded to YouTube by a neighbor, which shows 4 children and 2 adults getting into a van after the fact. This video was uploaded after these 2 went to the police and the public and the news to say the children went missing on the 21st. But a video 2 days beforehand says otherwise. They didn't bet on that. Amen. Always remember, true crime, 50 ways to kill a person, 100 ways to get caught. All super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you so very much. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you so very much. Thank you all for your support. Thanks for joining me. Please check out Court TV if you have not already. I've watched Court TV for many years, and I'm pretty much impressed with the work that they do. And I'm praying that they will continue to bring said information to the public pertaining to the missing boys. Thanks for joining me. Hit the link if you want to give your commentary, please. If you want to join the live stream panel, please hit the link to give your commentary. And please let your name match the name that's in the chat when you come up for the panel. Thank you. Chat when you come up for the panel. Sorry, it's playing back something, checking something out. Thank you all for joining me. Hello?
Hey, Big Ann.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. I have never done this on any other channel.
Okay, that's okay. Just take your time.
I just find it strange that they went through so much trouble to buy that house.
Okay.
And then all this goes on.
Okay.
And now they're not even living there. If I really cared about those kids and they were really missing from there, I don't think I would have left.
Well, let's say, because we know this happened, people were vandalizing the house, because I'm sure that's the excuse they've used why they have stayed wherever they're staying. Someone has vandalized your house, Miss California girl. Do you feel safe to stay there?
Or, yeah, I got you. That's
well, I'm just asking you. Would you stay once your house got vandalized?
No, I wouldn't.
Okay.
I guess I wouldn't.
Okay. But I get your point. It's a two-sided coin when it comes to this case.
It is. It's sad. It's really sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, let's talk about the video, because that was the point of
Mr. You're right.
Sport TV. I want to try to stick with that as much as I can, because I know we all can veer off when we start talking about this subject.
Right.
There were 2 adults, 4 children going into the van. Allegedly, it is said 2 days later, I took them to the grandmother's house, never specified which grandmother, because a lot of you are still bringing that up, which they did not. So we're to assume it was Miss West, because we have assumed everything about Miss West and not Miss Jacqueline's family at all.
Right.
West was visible, so that's the reason why I believe everyone bothered her, stalked her, whatever word you like to use.
Right.
Because they were visible.
Right.
And had access to her home. Right. So who were the children? Do we even know which children we're talking about? See, that's the thing about this case. You don't even know who you're speaking of.
I know.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And I saw that video when it first came out before Court TV viewed that. And you really can't make out the size, but the 4 that we did go in, 2 of them were taller, 2 of them were shorter. But I thought they looked a little bit bigger, but I can't be sure. But there still were only 4 children that went in that van and 2 adults. And like you said, they could have went to the other grandmother's house. We don't know.
Okay. This is so true.
I don't know. It's just sad. It's been
Lydia, hold on one sec. Lydia, if you're listening in the chat, you do not have your mic on, sweetheart. Hold on, let me see. Wait, let me see. She's on. Lydia?
She's muted, yeah.
Oh, she's muted herself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unmute yourself, Lydia.
Well, she's on. I don't know. She's got herself. Renaya, how are you?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sweetheart. How are you this evening?
Hi.
Queen, how are you?
That's good. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Miss Carolina girl, are you still speaking, or you want to say anything else, baby?
No, I'm good. I'm done, honey.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
You want to
I
stay
mean,
up? You want to stay up, or you want to go
stay.
down?
Yeah, I'm good.
You want to stay up?
Sure.
Okay, Miss Renee, go ahead.
This case is just mind-boggling to me. We had a case in Toledo, Ohio, where I'm from.
Okay.
It was about a non-autistic autistic nonverbal boy named Braylon Noble. And some of the things in this case and compared to his case is so eerily similar. I had called first I Googled the Casa Loma apartments because it said that it was permanently closed.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that the other day when I was checking out something that one of the fans had sent me about a video and one of the photos or something. And I thought it was interesting too.
Yes. And the lady, when I asked her about it, she acted like she had to hurry up and get out the phone. She said she didn't know why it was like that. They're still open, except for applications, for renting and stuff like that.
Okay.
But she's like, rush me out the phone. And I'm like, wow.
Well, okay. So what did you first say to her when she answered the phone, if you don't mind me asking?
I was trying to play into it, like I was interested in renting,
No, tell us what you said. Just tell us what you said.
I am interested in renting your apartments, but I see here.
And I saw that too. So they had to do that. There's no way somebody went in and changed that.
Yeah. Right. So I'm like, wow. I mean, this is interesting. The whole
That's very interesting.
Yes. I feel that these boys went missing from June to September. I don't believe that they ever made it to California City. I think that was just the stage front. And the money that he borrowed from this Aileen or whatever her name is, this is somebody that you just met. I mean, I have a big heart too. I'd give you the shirt off of my back if you needed it, but I'm not that. I'm cool. I don't even know you, but no.
Yeah.
No. And they said that he was supposedly paid $3,000 of that loan back. But how well did you really know this lady, Trezell? Was you getting frisky with her or something?
Oh my God, don't you start.
I'm just saying, because they don't look right. I'm sorry. Right. But
there's a lot.
And I had come across a picture of the boys. I don't know. It kind of looks recent. Because I think the oldest one has got his hair cut down low. And the baby, he looks more filled out.
Okay.
And a little bit older. I put it on Facebook. Okay. But I put it in my photos.
Okay.
Where did I get that from? I got it from, I think, another YouTuber's channel or Google or something.
Okay.
And I screenshotted it and cropped the picture and made it look, more clear so everybody could see it and stuff. So
okay.
Here. I'd be on them on the ground every day. I have 3 daughters. They're grown now, thank God. But they still get on my nerves. But I love them anyway. And
that's a good thing.
That's right.
It's very good. My daughters are the poo-poo to me. I love them to pieces, all of them. And they all have different qualities that I love, But my middle daughter, I think she was 4. Her name is Cheyenne. And she was 4 at the time. And, we'd get up every morning and stuff. I'd make them breakfast, whatnot, and everything, and wash them up and everything. And we'd go out and play if it wasn't raining. For some reason that day, she was so excited to get out that doggone back door.
Right.
And I had put a sofa bed couch out to the fence to throw away.
Okay.
And this little girl, as soon as the back door opened, she was gone. And me and her sisters were, very soon to follow. But we're looking around like, hey. I said, I'm talking to my daughters, and I'm like, where's Cheyenne?
Mm-hmm.
Brittany, Laquita, where's Cheyenne? And they're like, I don't know, Mama. So I'm freaking out at this point. And back then it was like in the 90s, mid 90s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't have no cell phones back then or whatever. Like you had phones. But I had my cordless phone. I called the police.
Mm-hmm.
I went to my neighbors, because it was there was 4 apartments in there beside my own. And I'm contacting my neighbors, knocking on the doors and stuff, and telling them what's going on with Cheyenne.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a couple neighbors that lived across the street, a few houses down. And they happened to be walking by and stuff. This is good old days where weed was just weed and stuff like that. And if you blew, you blew. So he come by with his girlfriend and stuff, asking me, you want to smoke today? No, I don't feel like smoking. I'm good. I said, because Cheyenne's missing. We don't know where she's at. Okay. So he got to looking. The cops pulled up, and I'm crying. And I got my youngest daughter, Laquita, in the back seat. We were in the back of the cop car. And I'm just crying my asteroids off. I'm just like, oh, my God, man. I was adopted. So and my bio mom, I met him, my bio father, and she gave us kids up. Like, that's another horrendous story in itself. But I said that I was never going to be like her. At this point, I'm just frazzled. I don't know what to do. So the kid and his girlfriend that was asking me if I want to smoke weed, I see him coming up to the car, but he's kind of like turned sideways. And then he turns all the way around so I can see him. Oh, I'm about to cry.
Don't do that, honey. Don't cry.
It's happy tears. But then I see Cheyenne in his arms. Mm-hmm. And he's coming up to the cop car and stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, I said, where'd you find her? Mm-hmm. And she was in the sofa bed.
Right.
She was.
My goodness.
She knew what she was doing.
Yeah.
And today, Queen, do you know what she cracks up about it? She's like, man, that was so funny. You should have seen your face.
To her, right. To her at that time, of course. Mm-hmm. As a child. but not to a mother.
No.
You can't find her child. Yes, I understand.
Right. And they did not even look. Jacqueline did not get up off the couch or wherever she didn't find the house.
Well, that was her excuse. This is the point of this story. They never intended for anyone to know anything that they said.
Yeah.
That's right.
The whole part of the con.
That's right.
No outsider besides law enforcement will ever know what I told law enforcement.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because I tell you what I want you to know.
Right, exactly. Because when I called the police for Cheyenne, they asked me what she was wearing, how tall she was, how much she weighed, what color her hair was.
Right.
All my kids are biracial. I'm biracial. I'm a hybrid.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm a hybrid. Lord Jesus, got so many mixtures in me. It's not even funny, but it's okay. It's good. I love them all. I embrace them all to the highest. And Cheyenne has had a special feature still to this day. She doesn't have black hair. She was born with blonde hair and blue eyes.
Okay.
And her hair changed to a medium brown.
Okay.
And her eyes changed from blue to green to light brown. Mine are like hazel brown. Then they change colors to red, and they just change colors because I'm weird. But I'm a good weird. And so they asked me what she had on, and I'm just frantic, and I'm calm and telling them what she had on and whatnot. But I don't give a crap. They did not tell me, stay in your house, the best route searching. No. And even if they did, honey, I'm going to be looking any doggone way.
Right.
You're not going to tell me? No. That's my child. I have an obligation to my children. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I said to my baby daughter, I call her little baby. I call them all little babies, but And I said, you know what? I said, I love you girls. I love you girls with all my heart. I said, but I love my grandbabies even more. She looked at me in confusion and was like, wait, well, no, I say I don't like that, Mama. Come on, Mama. And I said, you have to understand, these children are a product of you, of y'all, but they're my little legacies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And I mean, I'll keep it real. I did lose my kids for a year and a half because of a man. I was young. I was stupid. He was on drugs. I didn't find out about the drug part until after the fact. Got me addicted to crack cocaine. I smoked every day for 9 months to a year. Then entered a rehabilitation center. I didn't like it. Then I entered drug court. Well, I entered drug court first. Went to first rehabilitation center. I didn't like it. Then I went to another one. And if it wasn't for God and that rehabilitation center, I would have never got my kids back. But I was sweating nails and had been clean for.
So you lost your children? You lost your children to the state?
Yes, ma'am, for a year and a half.
A year and a half. So what all did you have to do in order to get your children back? And give me the timeline from the day your children were taken.
The timeline was, we were all living in a trailer that had running water, lights. It was connected to one of my friends. I'll just go ahead and say it because I'm not ashamed. And it's a story all in all, even though it's small. He was my pimp. I got into prostitution.
Okay.
And that was only for a couple of weeks because everybody cop. But okay. So the CSB got called on me by one of my friends, emergency style. They came out on a weekend, and yes, they will come out on a weekend if they feel it's bad enough. And allegations were the trailer was dirty. There was no running water.
Okay.
He had just bought a big tin of cheesy popcorn. I don't know if you're familiar with the big tins.
Yes, you know I'm from Chicago, so I know all about Garrett's popcorn, cheese popcorn, and caramel popcorn. Quick playing girl.
Yeah. Look, my girl got so excited and stuff, and we popped the lid, and popcorn flew everywhere. I mean, we was about to have a popcorn party.
Yeah.
And CSB walking in and seeing the popcorn on the floor.
Okay.
So they're gonna instantaneously think it's dirty. Okay, well. So, but the one fact that I could not hide was that I was addicted to crack, and no, I did not smoke it every day.
Okay.
And I would do things to get money for my pimp, not for me to smoke. Get two other girls with us.
Okay.
I was his leading lady. He never hit me. He never verbally assaulted me, physically, mentally, nothing like that. Then I had lived in a shelter in Ohio with my girls, and I had got them in school and everything. They had went and took my girls out of school and told me to meet them down at CSB downtown Toledo. They were getting ready to take them that day.
Okay.
I remember.
I know this is hard for you. I would prefer you just tell me how long it took you to get them back, because I don't want you getting upset because it's the past. So I don't want you getting upset about that.
It's happy tears. It's good to talk.
I know, but I don't. But it's emotional.
Yeah.
You going through reliving all that again. So I just want you to tell us how long from the day they took the children.
I was in
how
drug.
Long was it that before you could get them back, and what did you have to do?
We were in drug court. We were asked to fulfill a number of obligations. Like you had to go to whatever, like AA if you were an alcoholic, NA if you were a substance abuse meetings. We had to go to meetings. We had to go to group. It wasn't in session. It was you didn't there. You got to go home every night after your meetings, but we had to be at group every day for 5 days a week. 5 days. How long did you have to do that? For a year and a half. For a year and a half. Before you get your kids back? I was first graduating of my class.
Okay, so this was mandatory 1.5 years before you can get your kids back?
Yes, ma'am. And if you try to get out of there, if you try to get out of group, if you out of the rehabilitation center that they wanted you to be in,
yes,
you drive dirty.
Okay.
Then you're going to jail. And
how many times did they drug test you, sweetheart?
Yes, exactly. Yes,
how many times? How many times did they drug test you? Why, weekly or monthly or?
It's weekly. And I remember going to jail for a week because I dropped dirty.
Okay. How long was it from the start of the class that you were dirty?
Like relatively in the beginning.
Like a week, 2, couple days, what?
I'll say it was because I had that one rehabilitation center I was in and I didn't like it, and I told them I didn't like it.
Okay.
So about a couple months in.
Okay.
And I switched to another. Before I did, that's where I relapsed, and I went to jail for a week, and then I dropped dirty again, and went back for 3 weeks. So they called me Queen of Striker. That was the name of the detaining center. All my people at the jail were like, "You'll be back, bitch," and all this, whatever. Yeah, I'm like, I know you're lying. Well, I came back, and they're like, "Yeah, we told you." I'm like, "Shut up, whatever." Anyway, then after I served that 3-week sentence, I never went back.
Okay. Now let me ask you something. When you tested dirty and then resumed, did they start you over from the beginning, or how did that work?
No, what they did was they continued me on, but they upped my meetings, which I was starting to get the hang of and stuff like that, and I loved it. I loved the new group we was in. So I did all that. Went to
5 days a week. So 5 days a week for 1.5 years is what we're hearing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
For group.
And
did you also have to work?
No. No. They did not want to have a job because they wanted all your focus to be, getting yourself clean.
Okay.
So your kids will have a happy, clean mother or father.
Okay.
Then my father was a pastor.
Okay.
And like I said, I was adopted, and I got adopted into a preacher's home where my father was a pastor, my mother was a pastor. Their parents were pastors. The grandmas both were. My dad asked me, he said, "Rhonda," he said, "let me ask you something." He said, "Do you believe that you are a recovering addict or that you are a recovered addict?"
Okay.
And I said, "Dad, I'm a recovering." He said, "No, you're not, baby girl. You are a recovered addict. And I claim this in the name of Jesus."
Okay.
And then I started buckling down really super hard.
Okay.
I wasn't supposed to know where my kids were going to preschool. But I found out because I feel like I have that little bit of private investigation sense in me. I've always been like that. My dad would always tell people, "Oh, you want to know something? Ask Rhonda. She's like the Toledo Blade, the newspaper. She knows everything." So I got the hang of it. I found out where my kids were going to preschool and stuff like that. When I seen them crossing the street, I ran across the streets to where they couldn't see me. And I stood out, and they looked at me, and they just like buckled to their knees and was crying. And I grabbed them up, and I was hugging them and kissing them. And I told them, "I'm going to get you back."
Okay.
And I was a single mother and raised all 3 of my kids by myself.
Okay.
So
after the drug rehabilitation that you were in for 1.5 years, you were able to retrieve your children back, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how old are your children now?
My children, Brittany is going to be 33 next month. Cheyenne is going to be 29 in November. And is going to be 28. No, I'm sorry. Cheyenne's going to be 30.
Okay.
No,
so you raised your children up until 18 years of age is what you're telling us?
Ma'am?
How old were your children when they were taken from you, baby?
They were, Brittany was, I'm going to say 8. I think 8.
Oh, it's a long time ago. Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm 53 now.
Okay, so this was a very long time ago.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you this. so I can let some other people speak as well. What did you learn from this experience of getting your children taken from you and now listening to all that you've seen with this case, of all the different shenanigans going on with the bio donor and the adoptive parents and just living life in general? What did you learn from this experience? And you can also factor in what you've learned in this case pertaining to your life that you had.
I believe in my heart of all hearts that Ryan, I don't believe that she has anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel her pain, because I've been through her pain. And the adopted parents, they just, as soon as they came on camera, they just were suspect to me. The body language and the weirdness and I don't know, it just seemed, they say one addict knows another addict. You know what I mean?
Yes, I've heard that, yes.
And I got that. I had that sense from them from jump. And then I learned that it was supposed that they dabbled in meth and drank, Trezell drank. And
let me ask you this. You have heard all the things about the bio donor, what she didn't do, obviously, to get her kids back. You actually think that she tried to get her kids back?
In a way, I will say yes, because I know I goofed off in the first, beginning months of drug court.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say that she's.
I want y'all to behave in the chat.
Oh,
behave in the chat. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I want to say that I know she's very devastated. I know, and I feel for her.
Really, but now I'm listening to everything that you said and that you try to get your kids back. But I am a little stunned that you actually believe this about her, because you know how I feel about her, right?
Yeah. Like I said,
because I do my homework first.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything about anybody.
I do, and I got to tell you, I could be honest with you. I'm an honest person. I have missed some of your shows, your lives, and stuff.
That's okay. Yeah, you probably missed quite a bit. You probably should have watched the live from the weekend, and maybe you change your opinion.
Okay, I'll do that.
But you're entitled to your opinion, because I don't want anybody to think I coerce people to think a certain way. But my thing is what I always tell people with a story. I always start at the beginning. I don't go to the middle. Exactly. I don't go sideways. I go by what I hear day one.
Yeah.
I go by what I see day one.
I don't think it's just the adopted parents that have a hand in it. I think it's multiple people.
Well, I'm not saying that's not what I'm talking about, who had a hand in it. I'm talking about behavior wise, as far as what you went through. You gave your testimony just now about what you went through with your kids being taken, and you fought the cause to get your kids back because obviously you wanted your kids back. I don't think she did that.
Yeah, you said that.
My understanding is that it was only supposed to be like a 6-month process. Your situation different because you were an addict. So naturally, they held it longer. And like they say, every state process is different as far as what it is you're probably been accused of as far as child neglect and abuse. So
and
every situation is different.
Right. Yeah, child neglect and no abuse, just child neglect.
Right. Right. That's what I'm saying. So you're talking about 4 kids, 4 separate times.
Yes.
One's a broken femur. The next one is the child had substance in his system, low birth weight, lungs were not functioning full capacity. And as I stated, if you haven't watched my content, I'm gonna go on and tell you, she never visited that baby once in the NICU unit.
No.
I didn't know that one of the babies had substance in his system.
Because you ain't been listening to my content.
No, man, I told you no, because I've been.
Okay. Well, now I'm telling you, the queen is not going to just judge somebody, because I know people of all walks of life know this. Know this.
My God.
And I know that everybody is flawed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I come across a little harsh because I've lived.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm 53. I'm 35.
Okay.
53.
Okay. So I turned 50. I turned 50 in January.
Well, I'm older than
January too.
Well, I speak from experience.
Yeah.
I speak from being around people, learning from people, my own flaws, and trust me, the queen know a shitter. Excuse my language. I know BS when I smell it.
Carolina
Matter of
girls,
fact, I can see it before I can smell it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
That's
See,
how
now
I feel. That's how I feel about her. She didn't walk the walk. She didn't walk the walk. And with all the fake tears in the interview, my opinion, see, a real genuine person that came forward to talk about their children, they would have told the whole truth. Let me let these people know what I went through to get my kids gone and why I am redeemed and worthy to get them back.
Listen.
So she never gave that. You see, that was I just played you the audio.
Yes.
And you don't hear none of that.
Listen, I walked 5 miles. Okay. I lived in a town called Oregon, Ohio. And it's a suburb 5 minutes away from Toledo, Ohio. I walked and caught the bus and walked some more. I had a tight little nice ass body and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead and toot your horn, Queen.
Walk feels pretty good now, baby.
Okay.
But I would walk. I would have a book bag out or a book bag. Yes, I can't even talk. Thinking about all this exercising and stuff. I inhale it right quick.
Getting herself all worked up.
Yeah, because we had a lot of reading from the books and stuff we had to do. So I had my book bag. Down, I would have to go downtown 3 or 4 times a day.
I know what you're saying. You walk the walk. That's what you're telling the Queen.
Absolutely. Because I wanted my kids back. Okay. I knew what I was. And even though the judge said, and the judge knew my father, they played golf together, for crying out loud. You know, but it was a good thing. It was a good, I got humbled, ate that humble pie, and I'm not a bad person.
You wanted your kids back. I'm going to keep saying that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all in your walk, not your talk, because your talk will say anything.
Yes, I was quiet when I was learning. And I like to say I'm remaining teachable today at 53.
Okay.
I will always remain teachable. Why? Because I want to learn. Am I perfect? I don't want to be perfect. Okay. I want to make mistakes.
Well, nobody can be perfect, Renee. No. You know that. Nobody can be perfect. Absolutely. There's no possible way.
Exactly. You know, so now I have to redirect and
yes. Hey,
I know that there's a lot of people that got their hands. They're suspects as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
A lot. Like I mean, are you guys in cahoots together?
Okay.
Take these babies?
Okay.
I will say that I do feel most days that they're still alive.
Okay. So right now you say most days. So on today, what do you think? They're alive or they're deceased?
That they're deceased.
Okay. Because why? Because why? No, tell me why. Tell me why.
Because it's been so long.
Okay.
Like not doing nothing
yes,
at all.
Yeah.
And I know, like with the Braylon Noble case.
Thank you, Beanie.
It took a long time for anything to come out. Well,
yes,
it's
baffling.
Huh?
It's baffling.
Yes, he went missing. They said that he might have fallen out a 3rd-story window. There's no way, because he would have been dead then. This baby's body was carried around through the woods behind the apartment. Moved around. The police and the FBI, they found his body in a pool that had been searched multiple times by.
I think I know the story you're talking about. Is this where the people were? The girl was walking with a friend or something, and everybody had gathered in the apartment complex, cussing and fussing and raising hell. That wasn't too long ago. Yeah, I think I saw that on social media or something.
Yes, and they ended up finding his body in the pool that had been searched. They had him cremated, and now his autopsy came back inconclusive. So, yeah, but the FBI is still watching them. That case is not closed.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's not, because I saw a snippet of that not too long ago, and I was thinking to myself, "Woo, them black folks sure look angry."
Woo, But honey,
that was like, look, that was like Mob Deep. Look, all I can think of, you better hurry up and get in that car, because if they snatch you raw, you is in trouble, homegirl. You ain't gonna have nobody come to your aid. They gonna beat you down.
Granny inmates, I mean, close proximity.
I was scared for her, because I said, Lord, I'm gonna beat this girl up. I'm serious. I said, they look like they ready to beat the hell out of that girl.
They was on that girl and that granny, everything from sun up to sundown and everything in between.
Yeah.
Remember, blah, blah, blah. And it's still to this day, but the FBI is still watching them. And
well, I understand that. So let me ask you this. Is she a suspect, or has she been arrested, or what's the storyline on that? What's the forward?
Mama No Tears, Denajanay, or whatever her face is. We call her Mama No Tears. Okay. Because her interview was something similar to Jack.
So she's free is what you're saying. She has not been arrested.
No, not yet, but they are still being watched.
Okay. Let me talk to Miss Lydia for a minute, if you don't mind, baby, because she's been up here a while. Miss Lydia, are you here, baby?
I'm gonna get off, guys. Have a good
night. Okay, Carolina girl, thank you for joining me. Thank you, sweetie. Be careful. Have a blessed week, Miss Carolina girl. Love you, honey.
I love
you. Baby. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Have a happy Mother's Day.
Okay.
Asheville.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Thank you, baby.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Carolina girl. God bless you, baby. Thank you, sweetie. Bye-bye. I'm going to remove you. Okay.
Bye-bye.
That was Carolina girl. Okay. Lydia, are you here? Lydia?
Oh, Lord, my mouth talk too much. Sorry.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. She's been up for a while. I apologize. Please forgive me. What do you have to say about the court TV mentioning the video that's grainy of 2 adults and 4 children getting into the van on December 19, 2020? Please give us your opinion, ma'am.
The opinion is that the evidence is over there, and I don't understand why, because this is not the only video. They must have the FBI had to have the other neighbors' video. That's according to what they say. I think at this point they already have some circumstantial to bring him to jail, because it's a lot of circumstantial evidence. I noticed on the report when they were missing, the FBI or the police took like a big bags. I'm wondering what is in those bags. They do have a lot of evidence. They need to go to the doctor. At this point, they already have the evidence from the doctor. When was the last time that they went to the doctor? Who is the social worker? I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, you know, they probably know all that, Lydia. Lydia, you know they know all that. They just not telling us, but you know that.
They must be very powerful people. They have a they're very.
Like Lydia, don't start that.
Yes.
You know them folks ain't nobody.
Huh?
You know they not nobody.
Yeah, because
you know, just because we don't know anything does not mean we talking about the cartel or John Gotti's 18th cousin, niece, nephew. Now don't you start no mess up here.
Yeah, I know. But I think they do. I'm surprised that they haven't arrested already, because
that's what we want.
Yeah.
Yes, they should be arrested for filing a false report that the children are missing, because I don't believe the children went missing. I do not believe the children were outside playing and somebody came. And the reason we know this is because Chief Walker never told you ever that there were footprints of the children, that there was footprints of an adult, footprints of a dog, cat, monkey, billy goat, side goat, new goat, camel, nothing. Not tire cracks, aggie cracks,
nothing.
Nothing. So that lets you know right there. Cadaver dogs, nothing except for inside. That's your proof right there. Nothing going on outside of that house. Nothing.
And you know what? Another thing that about the dog. Okay, the gate was open. How come the dog wasn't running around?
Well, this is what I just said. You never heard the chief tell you that there was anything that had life in it moving outside in that back or front or side of the gate. Nothing. Not a car, not a wagon, not a skateboard, skate, tricycle, go-kart, robot. Nothing.
Right. Nothing. Right.
Yeah, that's
Nothing.
very sad because, and another thing, they need to follow the money. The money, they need to follow the money.
What money?
But,
What
Right.
money? Lydia?
well, how can
What do
you
they
buy
mean
a
by that?
house with no money? I mean, I want to buy a house. The realtor let them borrow money? That's very like,
Okay, let's talk about
red
that.
flag.
Remember, I told you I'm trying not to get off the subject of the video. Let's keep it real because I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep saying this.
Mhm.
You don't know who's on the other side of a telephone, correct?
Correct.
Correct.
Did you ever see the person that called a YouTuber specifying that they sold a house? Did you ever see that lady's face that said she sold T and J the house? Did you, ma'am?
Yes.
Hello?
The video
Lydia?
that, about the lady who sold their
No.
house?
Did you see her face?
Yes.
You saw her face?
Yeah, I saw her.
Oh,
The
you heard
realtor?
her voice? No,
No.
the lady who sold the house that was on the Chris Thorne
Oh,
show. Did you hear her? See
yes.
her voice? Not her voice, but did you see her face?
Yes.
I didn't see her face.
I've seen her
I,
face, but I didn't hear her though.
Well, this is
I saw
crazy.
the
Well, how
face.
you saw her and I only heard her?
You heard her?
She was on
Yeah,
the
I
Chris
heard
Thorne
it, and I
show.
saw
He
the
had her
face.
on the phone. I didn't see her face. I didn't
Are
see
you
her face.
the Asian lady?
No, the lady who sold them the house.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a video that is physically talking, and she get the description of the house. She even was crying about it, and she said that she get the testimony. She was physically one of
Well,
the,
I don't
but
know.
I can
Love
look.
me saying she saw her face. I'm saying I never saw the lady's face. I only heard her voice early on Chris Thorne's show. Well, let's scratch that. Let's go on to the person who gave him the money allegedly. Did you see her face?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. No. Okay. That's the lady's face I see, not the realtor's. The Eileen,
Okay.
whatever. And that's that little Asian lady that gave.
Okay. Danny. Okay. Don't drop other names in the chat. Okay. Well, anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. You don't know anybody.
Exactly. Correct.
You're right.
That's true.
And even if a person is bold enough to show their face, which I've experienced that doesn't mean that they are a legitimate source.
That's true. Very true.
Because we've learned that from our many doppelgangers on YouTube with their 50,000 different usernames and aliases on YouTube and social media. They show their face over here, over there, but they've got 1,001 usernames and Facebook names.
Right.
I know.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
That's
But
true.
I think the video they prove that there's only, the kids were in California City. They, like you said, they need to go to the beginning, and that would be an Aspen, Aspen, Loma Linda apartment, and I think the West family, the mom, where they were burning something at 2 in the morning. One of the neighbors stated that there was a burning around 2 in the morning for almost a week, and they have the evidence from the fire department. Evidence that they went to.
Wait a minute. Wait. What evidence from the fire department?
No, the neighbors stated that she called the fire department. They have the evidence from the call that she called.
Lord. Are you going back to the West House, ma'am?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. Why is you bringing that up, Lydia?
Because I think that's what is the evidence, and that's why, because the kids have been gone for a long time, and that's why they can find them, because according to her, it was in June from the last year,
and another one in December as well.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what.
Well, I've to the point where I really don't take much stock into anything that's really been said pertaining to the children missing.
Yeah.
The reason why I say that is because of the obvious. Nobody has brought forth any ironclad proof of nothing.
Right, exactly.
And don't you find that strange in the month of May?
Yes.
Yeah.
How many more months are we going to keep talking about these kids?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Without nothing ironclad.
Didn't he say foul play? Did he suspect foul play?
Yeah, he said that. But like they said, foul play can mean a multitude of things. We as civilians will automatically think death, murder. Yeah. But it could also mean something just was suspicious pertaining to the children being gone. That's why they said it could mean a multitude of things, foul play.
And the
But we
reward
know
is very
it works.
high. That very
Yeah.
surprised too that nobody
Yes.
give a tip or something. That's
well, see, and that's my point about the story is that I refuse to listen at all the stuff that I've heard because I deal with what's logical. Logic is this. You have yet to surface the children. You can scream all day about where you saw them. You heard this, but it's illogical to know of a child's disappearance and not come forward to where they are, where you saw them. I followed the car. I got a tag number. Come on with it. Queen is real.
Right.
I'm going to give you what you're not used to, which is the truth.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What fool is going to keep saying they saw something, but they don't give a tag number? They don't give an identification. They ain't took a picture. Stay woke.
Right. Right.
The person who had the kids. You saw a kid walking in a mall and they missing, but you didn't take a picture. You didn't videotape them. You didn't go call the FBI. Hey, I want that damn money.
Exactly.
Yeah, correct.
Hype, because I speaks what is logical.
Correct.
They would be found already. Stay woke.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Just like when Cheyenne went, I had my neighbors right there, told them what she had, everything, and she was found within 10, 15 minutes. Plus, I had called the police. So, and they showed up.
Yeah. So, see, I keep trying to tell people everything you need to know about Cal City and the boys is from day one. What those people told you. I'm going to go back on something that was said in the commentary on Court TV. We've heard it 1,000 times. You always listen to what a person says in the beginning of a story about a person missing. Think back to when Jacqueline said this, because you always got to remember, a liar who has not rehearsed the script
from the house, from the backyard,
in the commentary. I think they were picked up. You said that because possibly they were.
Yeah.
Come on with it. You see, if my child was kidnapped, and I think they were kidnapped, that's what I'm going to say.
Right.
Stole my babies.
Yeah.
They stole my kids. Somebody stole my babies. You wouldn't say, I think they were picked up. Come on.
Right.
You see, the art of the con, you got to know how to be a con artist. Shut your mouth.
Come on.
Know how to deceive. You got to know how to lie. You got to know how to lie Johnny on the spot. Not 2 days later, but on the spot. If you're not accustomed to lying face to face, you in a world of trouble.
Right.
So that's why she said what she said. I think they were picked up. She was choosing her words very carefully.
Right.
Thank you, love me. Thank you, baby. Because perhaps she was speaking of sober thoughts. You know, that's an old saying.
Right. Yes.
See, perhaps they were picked up. And that's why she said what she said. Not, they stole my kids. They stole my babies. Somebody kidnapped my kids. That's what you say.
Correct.
Somebody kidnapped my kids out that backyard.
Right.
And not like Triselle stated, or I never heard that word, revulsionist. And he said something like that for the kids. And I was like, you don't say that. I never heard something like that.
Right, Tasha, you're right. They don't roam around the patches. That threw me off too. What are you talking about? The neighbors say they ain't never seen your kids. So why the hell would they be roaming? Shut up.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Definitely.
I keep trying to tell you, everything you need to know about them boys was told day one.
Right.
Revulsion, something like that.
His name and telling the police I love my kids to pieces even. And I had the female cop, she was crying her butt off. Like she knew, like, I mean, I was nuts. I was insane.
Yes.
I mean, no, you're not gonna tell me that stay inside and not look for my child. Like that's my Mija.
Right.
That's I gotta look for her.
Nisi B is saying, she also said, we don't know exactly. Right. You see, you're talking because you're telling on yourself because you are not used to lying in front of people. You may lie on paper. Shut your mouth.
Yep.
Correct.
But you standing in front of 3 news microphones, some angry bio family members, Pookie, Ray Ray, Shamika, the neighbors. That ain't no fun place to stand and try to give your 411 about your children.
Right.
Yeah, and now they keep
Yeah, she
they need
paused.
to keep
Barbara,
the
yeah.
story continue,
See,
and I guess the story it doesn't match the real.
Right. Because
no.
the dog, whether you believe the dog is trained properly or not, he said it rough. They ain't been outside.
Yeah.
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 But like I told you all, stay woke. What did you give law enforcement to for the dog to sniff? I'll wait. You better stay woke now.
Yep.
Mm.
But I hope they find the
Thank you,
boys
Carolina girl.
alive. But it's very every month and every day. Yeah, they
Yeah.
hope it's just
Yes.
more.
Yes.
But I have to go. I really enjoy your
Thank you,
show.
Lydia.
Nice
Thank you,
talking
sweetheart.
to
Thank you
you.
so much, baby.
Okay,
Thank
have
you.
a good one.
God bless you,
Bye-bye.
baby. Okay, honey. Bye-bye. Okay. Well, Miss Renee, thank you for joining me too, and God bless you.
God bless you. Happy Mother's Day.
Okay, baby.
All right.
Okay, bye-bye. All right. If there's anybody else that want to hit the link to join the discussion, thank you all for the super chats. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. God bless all of you. We're still rolling right now, 1 hour and 25 minutes in. This is a baffling story. As I state, the police knows something. God, I pray that they do. I want to thank Court TV for spotlighting the children. God, thank them. Mr. Politan, I could kiss your feet right now. I'm just humbled and glad. Yes, woof, woof, amen. But you see, I always start at the beginning of a story because there's nowhere else to start when you're talking about missing people. And you always watch the demeanor of people, how they talk. Did they cry? Did they moan? Who stood beside them? Was there other people that should have been there? Their speech. And sometimes they're just people who are aloof. They look guilty. They sound guilty. And then we later find out they didn't have anything to do with the disappearance of the said person or persons. That has come to fruition. Yes. Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you so much. But these people, something about them just ain't right. And like I said, have mercy if they're innocent. Then some of us were wrong. And that could be the case. But what I go back to is day one, what was said to the media, the upload of the YouTube video of the surveillance of them getting in the car with the 4 children, returning with no children. 2 days later, reporting the 2 missing, which contradicts what was seen on December 19th, if we are to believe that is the said date of that video. Not searching for the children, making excuses, no new photos of the children. We're now in the month of May of 2021, still no new photos of the children. And this is something I want to relate to all of you. And I've said this before. When you go into your Google Photos, stay woke. The first picture in your device will be of the latest photo that you took on your device or devices. Stay woke. Why would I scroll a year back and upload a picture to a detective of my missing children? You better come on with it. I keep trying to tell y'all, Queen ain't dead. And I ain't no dummy. And yes, your photo has a date and a time. So Google records everything. It ain't nothing but a microphone. Shut your mouth. You're going to scroll all the way back a year later to give the police a picture of your children? When the first photo would be the latest photo that you took with your device? Stay woke. See, y'all ain't listening. The proof been there all the time. But she didn't know we were going to find out after the fact from Chief Walker that they seized her phone, her and Trizelle's phone, a day later. Shut up, Angela. But we know now, Jackie. But you told that because you didn't think we were ever going to find out the truth. You see, that's the whole point of this story. Trizelle and Jacqueline West never thought we would ever find out anything pertaining to the day they reported their children missing. But the upload of an old photo of a year beforehand. The fact that Chief told it later, that they seized their phones a day later, shows cause that you were deceptive in giving photos of your missing 2 black babies. In no way in hell would I, as a sane person that cared about my kids, would go in Google Photos and go all the way a year back to give detectives a year-old photo. Why would I do that when the first photo that I took of them recently would be in the first box in my Google Photos? Stay woke. Because you gave what you had. Come on with it. You gave what you had. So you see, if I ain't got nothing new, I can't give you nothing new. So that leads me to believe what Bakersfield police said. Anybody who's seen or heard anything about the children in the past year, holler at me. Come on with it. Hit the link if you want to give your opinion before I check out of here. Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. Thank the mods in the chat. You see, everybody's not a good liar. Everybody's not a good liar. You see, everybody's not a good liar. John Q is joining us. Hello, John. Mute your mic, baby.
Miss Angie, how you doing?
How you doing? Thanks for joining me. What you got to say about Court TV?
I'm doing good. You working overtime, love? My goodness.
Ooh, Lord, baby. Look, I had to get them pilgrims a little something today. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. You tie together some very, very relevant points of this case.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
You know, you and Crystal Moore, I think it was the last live or the other couple of lives that you've done. And then the Court TV coming up with their information.
Yes.
You know, you begin to think about what you guys discussed, you know, concerning Jacqueline West claiming just 4 kids. Then you go back to Court TV and they say 4 kids.
Yes.
But yet here's a couple 30 years of age.
Well, yeah, Papa Tan was real professional with that last week. He was real slick when he was saying, woo, awfully young. Come on with it.
Yeah. Awfully young to have 6 kids.
Yes.
From 3 to 10.
3 to 10.
Now, in my life, you know, and I've been around. I've been around. Young couples, 30 years of age, 6 kids, a house they just got finished buying.
Yes, yes.
And in a way that they bought it.
Amen.
Okay. You guys have zeroed in on information, and I've been around on a couple of other places, couple of other channels. You guys hit home far better than what I've seen in the last 4 months, and we're in the 5th month right now.
Well, you know, my thing is it's a job that I'm doing, you know, and I would be doing a disservice to the people involved, such as the children, if I'm just gonna lollygag and not really bring true content about their disappearance. You know, like I said, you can either love me or like me. It's your choice, or don't like me. It's all, you know, it's up to you. But I'm not okie doking around about what's been given. I want these children found one way or the other, and I want to bring pertinent information, and I'm going to ask pertinent questions pertaining to the information that's been given. Some people are just really doing stuff for show. I'm not about that. I'm about trying to find a resolution to these kids. And all my other cases I talk about, because these are real people.
I see. And you got much love from me coming from New York.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. You know I love it. You know I love a New York man. Shut your mouth.
You know, and
to find up here. That'd be for another show.
yeah, definitely. And everybody else is on the merry-go-round playing, you know, around with this case. But I truly appreciate the fact that you're working with a team of people. Not a lot, because you don't work with a lot. You work with a very few people.
I learned it's best to stay to yourself and stay in your own lane.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I do.
Yeah. It becomes problematic when you start getting out your own pond.
Yeah, it becomes too much.
Yes, it does.
You know, because once they find out what you're doing, everybody wants to jump in your pocket.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that.
Well, let me ask you something. What do you think about the video that was uploaded to social media of them getting in the car with the 4 children 2 days before they reported 2 of their children missing?
Yeah, I don't believe they were there.
The 2 that's missing.
Exactly.
You don't believe they were there when?
That night that the video had recorded those 4 children getting into the van.
Okay, so now we're saying you lied on the 21st then.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so then if we're to believe on the 19th there were no children, how far back are we going from the 19th?
Well, the Bakersfield police seem to want to get 1 year of information on the missing kids. So you have to ask yourself, exactly. You have to ask yourself, why is that?
That's a long time, John. That's
exactly
a long time.
Yeah. I mean, they stretch back that timeline to a year for anyone with information regarding the boys. Please step forward. Come on now.
And then you tell yourself, am I reading correctly what he said? Because you know how sometimes you know you may say, well, you know, people will bicker about what somebody said, if it's accurate or not.
Right.
What do you think? Do you actually think they don't have nothing up until a year?
Well, you know something, with that year time span that the Bakersfield police had stretched out for, I said, why a year? What's going on? And I went back to the videos.
Yes.
You know, the one that, you know, you have titled tonight. And I said, okay, they're doing this stuff on the 19th. And then we get the video surveillance footage of the night called into question. Why did Trezell call the police in the first place?
Yes, and that's a question.
When they had everything already established, why did he call the police to say, oh, I got 2 missing boys?
Okay.
Why did he do that?
Why that day? Is that what you're saying? Why that day?
Why that day? Correct.
Okay, so why do you think he and she called that day?
Well, I guess that they were, and this is my best guess, you know, because, you know, some of it, you know, we don't have proof of, because, you know, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for proof of everything. You know, but you can best get an estimation as to the reason why he may have done that, because he was put in a position,
and what might that be?
An uncalled for position to make a move.
Like what, John?
Well, you know, maybe somebody was going to come and check on the family since he had foster kids.
Yes, and for those of you who think that they would never come by because children are adopted, you don't know that, because the state of California still pays a stipend to all adoptive parents of those said children adopted from the state till the age of 18. So we don't know exactly what's the protocol for still visiting the family of that have adopted the children.
Exactly. And that's part of their adoption transition service, to make sure that the adoption sticks.
Everything's right. And then everything's going smoothly. Just not going to let you take the kids and poof, we have to wait. Because we're still paying you money. So that's why I told the fans, you can't say the state was not still going to see parents who adopted state children. Because guess what? They still paying their money. And they can say, hey, we still can drop in when we want them.
Right. Exactly. And so now Trezell is put in a position to compromise everything that they worked so hard to get.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So now we go to, the next day, the police show up. They begin to, you know, get to the location, identify what's going on. Here we are from the 21st to the 22nd. They stay a whole day. They get all the resources that they need to try to locate the boys. And then on the 23rd, they go to press conference.
Okay.
Police are not there to support their claim. Family is not there. And I'm talking about Trezel's family is not there to support the claim.
Which I think is very interesting. My children are missing, and I ain't got my mom and daddy, auntie, Pookie, Ray Ray, and cousin. Shut your mouth.
Right. And so I found that unusual.
Yes.
What I also found unusual was that the Bio family was there since the 21st.
Yes. Yes. Everyone talks about that as well.
Okay, so now we're talking about a communication that's going on between the adoptive parents and the biological
Well,
parents.
allegedly, they're saying they don't know each other. Allegedly, Ron Dean told a news reporter she didn't know them, know nothing about them, and vice versa. They didn't know she. She's alleging that she got information, or they're saying she got information from some relative or somebody who heard naturally that the children were missing. So she jimmied on up there a day or two later to go knock on their door.
Right. That's the way they want to act. They want to act like
you think that's a farce?
Yeah, they want to act like it.
Okay.
Just like they act like it during the press conference.
I believe your mama black or daddy black. Shut your mouth.
Oh, my daddy's black. He's from Alabama. He's from the South.
It's the way you said that. I didn't know your race, so I just threw it out there. I said he knows black the way he talks about. You act like okay.
Yeah, you act like it, and that's what they did during the press conference. Trezel told a story he wasn't supposed to tell.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just like you said, they were totally unprepared for everything that occurred. No one was supposed to know what the hell they were doing.
Yes. And what is that exactly, John?
Yeah.
What is it that we're doing? Because we're that's the thing that we, Air Force One and myself, we've been chopping it up trying to figure out. What are we actually talking about here? Right. Are we talking about people who just got tired of the kids, harmed them, got rid of them, buried them? Or are we talking about somebody came and said, hey, I want my kids back? Or, hey, I want to get rid of these kids, make some money, sell them. What are we speaking of?
Exactly. And so they had to get to a point, they were put into a position now to a point to where they had to do something they weren't ready for. And we saw that during the press conference. This story about missing boys, him going out to the backyard, throwing wood. He comes in the house, he turns around, then they're gone. And he goes back in and talks to Jacqueline about, oh, did you see the boys? She says, no, they're outside playing with chalk. And just too much fabricated detail to get to that back gate. Okay. Because that's where he was leading the story, to the gate, so that this way it was his fault. He left the gate open, they got out, and that's when they went missing.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But now with the other connected piece that you and Crystal Moore discovered most recently, and I congratulate the both of you for your investigative prowess. In regards to the claiming of the children on the 2020 tax.
Because see, what people don't understand is because they were getting combative in that chat, which was very irritating. That was Kern County's own document of what they're seeking from these people. So what you have to ask yourself is, why would Kern County have information about your taxes and what you're claiming? There's a reason for that.
Exactly.
Okay? This wasn't a love letter. This was Kern County's own document, court document. And we got to use common sense. If they're sitting here asking you all these questions and got documentation about your taxes, who filed what, who didn't, Pookie, Ray Ray, Trezel, whatsoever, the point is there's a reason for that. And you don't have your children in your custody, do the math.
And then the math begins to work. You're right. The math begins to work.
Yes.
And when you get to crystallize the math, where it is today,
Yes.
you know, what I can say is this. Trezell and Jacqueline are in a big storm of trouble. That is for sure.
That's it, John. That's it. Big trouble.
Yeah, stuff that they didn't even think about happening is now happened.
Is now happening. Amen.
CPS is up their kazoo with everything because now they want paperwork from the last year. We want your tax returns from the last 2 years. We want your expenses. We want everything that we sent you through the stipends that we gave you.
Amen.
Regarding the kids.
Thank you. Amen.
So they're in a box.
Thank you, John.
And that's a pressure cooker for them because now one of them has got to talk.
Yes, because see, everybody was in the chat on that live, bickering back and forth about who claimed the kid, and Trezell may have gave him to the mama, the grandmama to claim, or that was not the point of the video. It's like I've never seen people so blind by what you're saying. It was about the documentation, not who claimed a kid. Who let Pookie, Ray Ray, auntie, uncle claim a kid? It's why does Kern County have this on their documentation against she, he, whomever?
Exactly.
It flew right over their heads. And I was like, wow, this is an interesting group.
Yeah, it is. And only because they forgot about the number one thing. Just the number one thing that all government agencies operate off of. Yes. You know what that is? You said it. Because it's just 3 words. Documentation, documentation, documentation.
Yes.
And that's how they follow what everyone does.
Of course. Because that's what they're going to do. Let me tell you something. Like I said, those 2 jokers had not expected this whirlwind. And those people said, something ain't right. I told people, you don't even know what was at the house when the police and detectives went there. You don't know if there was beds, furniture, food, paraphernalia. You don't know what was in that house. So the state came in and kindly removed the remaining 4. Why? Stay woke.
Right.
Did not place them with not one biological relative. Stay woke.
And most likely what the agency wanted to do, and I'm talking about CPS, is that, okay, we've got an adoptive family. They moved out of Bakersfield.
Yes.
This was in September. They're establishing themselves in California City. They took our kids with them. So we got to go down there and check out the place. Come on now.
But look, you said ours. Shut your mouth. Because remember, that's what you said.
Well, that's the state.
Our boys.
That's the state. The state's paying for these kids. That's the way the state looks at these kids. They're our kids. Okay. Let's get real. And that's what they did. And that's what screwed up Trezell and Jacqueline's plans. That's exactly what happened. And then we saw what happened as he made a move he wasn't supposed to make, didn't think about making, never even thought about making, which was calling the police for 2 minutes.
That's what I thought was interesting. So that's why I said that's really the number one question which started this ball rolling. Why did Jacqueline and Trezell West call the police to say that their children were missing? Somebody help me out because I'm drowning.
Yep.
Do you know why? Because I'd like to know why.
Yeah, give me a second.
Oh, that's okay, honey. Do your thing. Okay. Anybody in the chat have any reasons, inklings of why he and she called the police to report their children missing? Because they surely did not plan this farce out at all. Period. They never planned this out thoroughly.
Exactly. And the only reason why they had to call the police, once again, they were put in a position, if we don't call the police, then we'll be in trouble with CPS for missing boys.
Something.
And so then we're going to be in a whirlwind of crap, you know?
So what do you think was happening? They were coming to planned visits. Somebody made a call. Somebody reported them. They were about to have a Christmas party. What do you think?
I mean, there are many different things to think about just that
Yes.
aspect alone.
Yes. Yes.
You know, but the main thing that they tried to do was cover their ass.
Yeah. Whatever the reason was.
Yeah, whatever that was. Well,
Oh.
if we don't call them, we're screwed. If we do call them, maybe we
We're
can do
screwed.
some
Yeah.
damage control and manage it
Yeah.
and try to work it through.
But see, that's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
That calling the police because you can't take it back.
When you're dealing with the uncertainty of the California police, not knowing what they're going to find, not knowing what they'll not find, and then them coming to the deduction to saying what Police Chief Walker, John Walker said. He said, you know, there is none to his knowledge, you know, that there's no way those boys could have got out of the backyard without some assistance, hence foul play.
Yes.
And he not only said it in one interview, he said it in 3 separate interviews.
Yes, he did.
And so hence to me, foul play, he's talking about, if you watch the second interview, the very first one he did with Byron Wang in his office, there was a part when Byron Wang asked him, who does he think, you know, regarding the foul play part of the interview. Look at his body language. This guy had to take in a deep breath, sigh out, and then answer, you know, that he could not get into that part. He didn't want to speculate. He didn't want to interfere. It's an ongoing investigation. And I said, you know exactly what happened because you brought it up. Those boys could not have got out of the backyard without some assistance from an adult.
Well, I always said if they were there, let's just say for the record, they did make it to Cal City, they were carried out. I always said that. If they made
it gives you the appearance of the fourth kind. You know, there are 4 appearances that we look at. Things are the way they are, or they are not the way they aren't, or they are and they do not, or they are not, but yet is. You
Where
know?
are you getting this non-emergency number? Excuse me, John. I don't mean to interrupt you. 2 people said that in the chat. Where are you getting information that the non-emergency number was called? Who calls the non-emergency number that children have been kidnapped or missing? Y'all come on with all that. You know about this? You heard about this, John?
No.
Now y'all stop making up stuff now. Come on.
And that's exactly where this case is.
I don't like hearing stuff about this case because I've heard so much stuff pertaining to these kids from day one. It would make your head spin. Now, here it is months later. You're all telling me they call the non-emergency number. Why would I call the non-emergency number and my children are missing? I'll wait.
All right. Well, you said so a moment ago regarding what Jacqueline said during the interview. You know, she believes that they were picked up.
Okay. Chick Benny says, I wonder if the kids were on WIC. Maybe they had to bring the boys to the appointment, or they were on Medicaid, and if one was disabled, he will require a yearly checkup. I don't know. Yes, you already know they was getting money from the state to take care of their kids. Come on now. 6 kids, and they don't have viable jobs and employment. Those kids, every kid they had was getting money from the state for food stamps, Medicaid, and so forth. Come on with it.
That was their source of living.
Yes. Amen. That's true, Nisa. You're right. Somebody could have said something about abuse. Yes. And they will come to investigate. You're right. How you know that one of the neighbors weren't watching and peeping and being nosy at the Casa Loma apartments? You know people are nosy in apartments. They watch every damn thing you do.
But that's my question, you know, alongside of yours, you know, and you've begun to tie in some pieces that is starting to make sense.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
You know, based on, you know, why didn't Jacqueline claim 6? Why did Jacqueline under Trezel's name, he claimed 0? Under income credits.
Now,
he claimed zero under child
Air Force One
credits.
said there is documents that show that he also got served the same paperwork, but still, nonetheless, that even on that paperwork with her, when you go over to the column to the right, it specifies other parent as the top of the column. So underneath there, it has to be him because he allegedly is married to her, and there is a lot of no no's.
Mm-hmm.
Just
and that right there is suspect to say, well, you know, if they are married and filing separately,
okay,
you know, you have Jacqueline claiming head of household with only 4 children being claimed.
Yes, Tasha made a great point. They did whatever they did in Bakersfield and used Aspen House as the plan to say they went missing. They waited 3 months enough time to think Ellie would only be focused on Cow City. Amen. That's a very valid point. So this could be an intricate plan that was already in motion months ahead of time, not spur of the moment. But we better do this or this. So you don't know because you don't even know what to think because police hasn't given us anything to go on. Amen.
But I just wanted to jump up and you know, and show you some love. You're doing a fantastic job. You know, you and your team and everything else like that. Thank you for the chat, you know, and your comments and everything, and the people that jump up on Angie's panel to, you know, give your thoughts and insights on this because
only you jumped up.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting to listen to the various different thoughts.
You don't know what you might hear on this channel, honey.
It's true.
They love to testify before the court without a lawyer up here.
And hence I understand why you have to handle it the way you do, which is absolutely necessary with a case like this, because a lot of this junk, which is about 85 to 90% that's coming out through speculation, you know, you got to filter through that in order to see if it fits the logic that this case, you know, needs to stay into.
Yes. Well,
you
my
know,
thing is, nothing has ever been proven truthful. And that's why I keep trying to tell people to think for yourself. Use logic. Nothing has been verified of any of the rumors that you've heard pertaining to these people or the children. So why do you keep believing it? Why do you keep repeating it? Why do you keep passing it along? Stop it.
And thank goodness that Court TV picked up on this, because now we're not only nationwide, now it's worldwide.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of people from the UK, across the seas, Australia, you name it, you know, tune into American court, you know, true crime stories and things of that nature, because, you know, they want to see how we operate. How do we get to justice?
Yes, yes.
You know, and it's a good thing for the boys now, because, like I said,
it's they need this. They no more no Facebook, YouTube. They need a real crime show with experts who have dealt it with law enforcement, worked on cases such as this, to bring an opinion.
Yeah. You know, I believe the boys are alive.
Do you really?
I do. I do.
Well, why do you think they are?
And the only reason why is because there's no evidence to the contrary.
I know, but see, that's what some of us are thinking. They don't have nothing to show us that they are alive.
Exactly. And so hence, you know, it's better to hope for the best and than to think the worst.
Okay.
Yeah. And you've carried that, you know, on your channel, because the more you're digging, the more it tells me that they're alive. Somebody's got them. They're in a holding pattern right now. They're trying to figure out what their next move is.
Listen, 4 months in, you ain't thought of a way to get them kids to safe and just say, chalk it. Whatever your reasons were for getting them, I'm done. I'm out. I won't give these kids back. See, that's something that makes no sense to me. If I am to actually believe that somebody has the children and got them for whatever reason, you holding on to them now is really collateral damage. You need them back. Because what are you going to do if they find you, let's say the kids are alive and they're in your possession? How in the hell are you going to explain that to the FBI police why you willingly knew they were missing, gone, or reported missing, been on TV, and you still held them in your home or wherever you got them?
Yeah, they're going down with Jackie and Jacqueline and Trezell and anybody else connected to what they did. This is an unfolding operation. It's an unfolding plan that was not expected.
What do you mean Brenda Glover waited patiently for 3 months for the foreclosure? Strange. I don't understand what you're saying, Huda. Oh, Corliss, you talking crazy. Talking about Al Sharpton. Don't start.
Oh, Lord. Him, please.
Look, I was going to say something, but I'm trying to be respectful. Oh, I'm dead.
Yeah, Al Sharpton looks like a dripping Snickers bar.
Right. Air Force said, I don't think he's interested. Exactly. Yes. Well, like I said, for if indeed the children are alive, for whatever reason that they got rid of the kids, handed them off, trafficked them, whatever word you want to use, whomever has them, let's say indeed they are alive, you are doing more damage by keeping the children.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Let me play this on your head for a minute before you check out of here. What if indeed this was just a way to get money for the kids?
I believe that's bottom line.
Fund me.
I believe that's bottom line. You know, we're in a pandemic for a little over a year now. You know, people have been out of work. Okay. Income is very hard to get.
Okay, yes it is.
You've got stable income coming from government agencies such as DSS for those that are on assistance, medical, Medicare, Medicaid, all this stuff now being handed out by the government, which is guaranteed whether you get a pandemic or not.
Right.
You got people going through hardships, you know, for a little over a year. So yeah, people are going to look for other ways and means to make money, whether it's you know, muling people, muling drugs, muling all kinds of different stuff.
Anything, you know? Honey, grow houses. You see that street on Aspen, it's been detrimental from the jump.
Right.
It was a grow house, so they'll let you know that was bad news before they even got there.
Right. So what's to say why not? Why not money being the motive to do the things that have happened in this case? Why not?
So we just hit them out till we get the highest dollar amount. But guess what? It goes back to what I just said. Somebody still got to surface the children. You got to drop them off. And you're going to have to bring them forward if you want to collect the ransom. I'm not the ransom, but the
reward.
The reward.
Yeah. Yeah, so you got money floating all up and down in this case.
Yes.
You know, and it's just a matter of time until, you know, we get to a point, which I believe we will, because we're getting closer to it, that, you know, all of what they tried to put into this to distort this whole story is going to leak out, and you're going to get to the substance that's really going to turn the case around. Yeah. Now with Court TV, you know, putting this on blast, and it's going to continue to follow up.
Yes.
Pressure busts pipes.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going to ask you this. Do you believe the bio mother donor is involved? Since you said you think the children are alive, do you think she's involved?
Well, everybody's a suspect. The way I've come into this case and looked at it and followed up with it and everything else like that, you know, I mentioned in the chat room earlier regarding the woman that you were talking to, not Lydia, but the other one. You saw what she did to get her kids back.
Yes, because she wanted them back. I made that clear. And that should have been obvious from her own commentary. If you want your kids back, you will do Malcolm X style, by all means necessary.
And you said exactly my point. By any means necessary.
Yes.
Will you try to get your kids back?
Yes.
And there wasn't any part of the conference that the biological mother, Ryan Dean, she said it in the first interview with the news, and she said it in the second interview with the news. I will do anything to get them back. Just please let me get them back. I'm a good mother. I have everything I need. You know, I come from a good family.
And she tripped up when she said that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because she tripped up. She said, first she said, I do not. Then she said, I do. And I thought, yeah, you telling the truth, because your daddy is, don't get me started.
Yeah. So
Crescent curl. Don't get me started.
Yeah. So what mother would put themselves through all of this to say she didn't want her kids back?
Uh-huh.
So hence there's motive there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've that motive had never left my table because, like I said, any parent would do that. She wanted her kids.
Mm-hmm.
And that's strong motivation, more so for a woman than it is for a man.
Mm-hmm.
You see, Trezell, you know, doesn't care. He just wants to get out of the sticky situation that he's in.
Whatever that is.
But Mama wants her kids.
Yeah. But do you really think she wants her kids, John Q?
Yeah, I do.
Why? Why do you think that?
I think she does because she wouldn't have put herself through all this for nothing.
Okay, but guess what? She's been a no-show since coming through all this for nothing.
Yeah, she must be going through some hoops and rings and whistles and bells and Rays and Tom Toms and Bobs and Billy Bobs and all this other stuff.
Let me say this to you all, and I want you all to listen to me very clearly. If I could tell you some things, I would if I could. Please know this. But because I took a vow not to ever reveal anything, she don't care about them kids, dude. She don't care. And that's why if you listen to my last video about the absentee mother, the woman don't even check on the ones that are visible, John Q.
Mm-hmm.
The ones she can see and touch. She don't even call those kids. So there's no way in hell I'm going to believe she care about the two missing ones. Because the ones she can go call and see and touch and pick up, she don't. Why not?
So it would be safe to say that she's also acting too?
That's what I'm trying to make you understand. I've been trying to make all of you understand that she don't care about the ones that you can see, that are walking around, can speak, can talk. Say, hello, mother. Hi, mommy. When you coming to get me, mommy? Why you ain't call me, mommy? You all on Facebook talking about trips to Miami and this and that and calling folks MF. But why don't you call me? Because I'm important too. See, I'm trying to tell you something without telling you. She don't care. She ain't never cared. That is the reason why this is now on Court TV. She never cared about her kids. And these people falling in behind her, rallying, cussing folks out, doxing folks, stalking folks, changing usernames. You doing this for somebody who ain't never cared for their 4 kids. There are 2 other children who deserve respect as well. And they are her oldest children, and they get nothing from Ryan Dean.
And I have to say, you make a good point, because if she did care, we wouldn't be here.
That's my point. And I understand some of you want to feel for her, but I keep trying to tell you, stay woke. You don't know any of these people. You don't know the West family. You don't know her. You don't know the people she's in cahoots with. And you have to start at the beginning, not just when they went and reported the children missing. This heifer had 4 children, 4 different men, and she didn't do what she needed to do to keep her kids. And when the last one could not function on his own, could not breathe, a baby who had to be put in a NICU unit for 3 weeks, she was a no-show. So the last baby daddies, first ones rather, went and got their kids, boy and a girl. Each father went and got their kids. Stay woke. And she don't converse with those 2. So how in the hell she gonna care for the 2 that's missing? When you got 2, you can go get right now and pick up and visit and call. You won't even call. It pisses me off. Damn.
Good point. Very good point.
And that's why I keep trying to tell people. I've been talking to a certain person that you all know who I've talked to in the past months as a source. They want to tell you everything. Others that's involved want to tell you everything, but they have to think about it because they know it will be a snowball effect once they reveal themselves. All hell will break loose.
Yeah, the whole thing comes down.
Yeah. And everybody will know who's been talking to me, who's been telling me things. Because those people have to be able to live. But listen at what I'm telling you. Them folks is tired and they fed up. They tired. And they want you all to know the truth because they feel like you have been misled and you have been lied to. And I feel their pain. Because, see, that's the thing about this story. I see some things on the other side of the coin that you don't get to see. I get to hear the pain and emotion from people who also involved that you can't see and hear because they're not at the point where they can reveal themselves to you. See, I don't bring no okie doke over here. Whether you like me or not, I don't play them kind of childish games. I don't. But there's people that want to be heard. They're just not at that point yet where they want to reveal everything.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense because this is something that, you know, they did not anticipate. And the thing that I'm talking about is that they didn't anticipate feeling this way. They didn't. They didn't. And it takes one to really feel what this case is really all about. And I appreciate you, Angie, for, you know, going that deep, that far, this long.
I mean, it's been so daunting on me. Last weekend when I was listening to, you know, something that was going on, unfolding, you know, there were some people right now very angry, very pissed off at stuff that's going on pertaining to the kids. But those people can't come forward for various reasons, you know, pertaining to, you know, the information that they have. But know that everything they got to say is the truth, and everything I brought you in the beginning pertaining to the source and the things about this bio mom. She ain't never cared about her kids. And she is the very reason, the catalyst of why we are talking about 2 missing black babies on YouTube, social media, and now court TV.
Yeah, that's the point of origin. Yes, I agree. I agree.
Well, Tay, once you fall off from trying to get your kids, the state don't owe you nothing. They don't got that kind of time to sit and babysit you because you're the reason your damn kids got took in the first place. So the state don't got time to run around, chase people around and say, hey, you want your kids back? Hey, you want your kids back? Hey, you're going to show up for a meeting? Hey, you're going to take the drug test? Hey, you're going to stay off the drugs so you can take a clean pee? It ain't their job. It's not their job.
No, that's a parent's job. That's the one who involved themselves into this whole thing to begin with.
Amen.
You know, and if there is a definition of failure as a parent, you got it right there.
We'll get you something to do.
You got it right there.
Well, you know, hey, I see everything I need to see. I don't know where the children are. I don't know who has them, don't have them. Like I said, honestly, I don't believe they're alive. But like you said, it could be that small percentage, small chance that they could be alive. Because like I said, law enforcement hasn't given us information. And they're not. Because like the chief said, Walker and this new chief of Bakersfield said, if we were to tell you what we could tell you, we would also be giving that same information to the people who are involved. Which makes sense. If I suspect you is being behind, you know, foul play and or death of a child, children, if I name certain things in the conversation, you're going to know I'm talking about you. And I don't want you running off because I want to keep you in bullseye view so I can watch you. This is insane.
And with CPS being involved the way they are right now with Trezell and Jacqueline, with their pending case being open right now concerning a lot of paperwork that, you know, I'm sure they're requesting from both Trezell and Jacqueline regarding the kids, you know, they're going to get tripped up big time. And I think that's where the turning point in this case is going to come out.
Yes. Yes.
You know, because as soon as one is so far, so deep, and so tripped up with trying to remember, oh, okay, what was the plan to begin with, and how do I act, right now? What do I say right now? I'm by myself. Nobody's out there. I have nothing to lean on. Yeah, somebody's going to break.
Right.
Somebody's going to break in a short order of time. We're so close to it now that it could be any day.
Well, that's what we thought in the beginning months ago, John, and look where we're at. We're now May 2021.
Yeah.
We really thought in the beginning this is going to end. They're going to give us something. Police is going to tell us something, and we're just like going in circles. This is really sad.
It is sad. It is sad to see, this generation behaving the way they are, acting the way they are, and involving children.
Yes, but that's we're in that kind of world right now. We're in that kind of world right now.
It's sad. People are living off the backs of their children rather than off their own back.
Yes, this is true. This is true.
And that's the sad part.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining me, honey.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you, John Q.
All right. I'll be watching and listening.
Okay. Thank you, sweetheart. Bye-bye. That was John Q from New York City. Thank you, John. Thank you for my other guests that came up. I'm 2 hours and 15 minutes in. I'm not going to hold much longer. But what I want to say is that this is a very baffling case. It is a sad case because, as I stated before, had the bio donor never came forward about being the biological donor of those dead boys, I wouldn't even believe that this was an actual story. I mean, it just feels like a hoax to me some days. Just this constant gossip and stories and sightings and just, unnecessary BS. I'm just over it. Right now, I have a Kim coming forward that wants to give us information pertaining to being a social worker in the state of Tennessee, where I am. Thank you so kindly.
You're so welcome.
Hi, Kim.
Hey, how are you?
Hi. Give me a roundabout way of telling me where you're from in Tennessee.
I'm in East Tennessee.
That's good. Where I am. Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you currently an active social worker for the Department of Human Services of this great state of Tennessee?
No, I am a foster parent.
You're a foster parent?
Yes.
Okay, so you work with the state?
Yes.
How long have you been a foster parent?
I have been doing this for about 6 years.
6 years. Okay. Do you like your job?
I do. I love my job.
How many children do you have currently in your home from the state of Tennessee foster care system?
I have 3 at this current time.
Do you plan to adopt any of those children?
One of them, yes.
One? The other 2, are you just iffy about, or what?
The other 2 could possibly still go home.
Go back to their home. Okay. Are you married?
No, ma'am. I'm single.
Please explain to me of this great state, the procedure in order to be able to foster a child out of the foster care system.
I had to go and take several months of classes.
Okay.
Had to be CPR certified.
Okay.
There's also classes that you continue to take for your certification.
Okay.
That you have to do. And I've been watching this case, and what I do not understand, it just baffles me.
But before you get into that, tell me everything you have to do so people can understand, because every state varies. In this state, obviously, a single person can foster children.
Yes, they can. I also am a nurse and work full time as a nurse.
Okay.
Because in the state of Tennessee, you have to have a job. You can't just live off of what you quote unquote make off of the kids.
Originally, if you get to foster kids. Okay, so you have to have full employment in order to foster children in the state of Tennessee. Do you have to be married or unmarried? Because you are obviously single.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Okay.
I mean, national anything, everything goes. I mean, there's married couples, single couples, gay couples. It's Nobody is eliminated. Anyone can be, as long as obviously you pass the background check.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. What do they ask on the background check? What can you not have on your background check in order to get a child?
In the state of Tennessee, you pretty much cannot have anything.
Such as?
I mean, even DUIs, definitely no felonies. I mean, you have to have a clean record.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that this just amazes me, this case.
Okay. Thank you, John. So from the time you applied to be a foster parent, how long was it from the moment you applied, went through your classes, that you were able to get your first foster kid?
Let's see, the classes, I'm trying to remember because it's been a while, were like 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
And then they come out and they do home visits. There's certain things you have to have in your home and meet requirements here.
So did they do all the background check first before they do the home visits?
It's all kind of simultaneous.
Simultaneously, okay.
Yeah. You're, doing classes, you're getting things set up, they're setting up things for you.
Okay.
And you're doing different things, at different times, trying to get done what you need to get done.
Okay. So you are a current foster mother.
Yes.
You have 3 foster children in your custody.
Yes.
1 you plan to adopt.
Yes.
How soon do you think you'll be adopting that child, boy or girl?
It's a little boy.
Okay.
And
how old is he?
He's 7.
White or black?
White.
He's white. Are all your children white?
Let's see. No. Well, they are currently, but I've not had all white children. No.
Okay. Amen.
Yeah.
How many total children have you had in your custody over a 6-year period?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. No idea.
Really? Okay.
Because the thing that I wanted to do was teens, because there's a great need for teens. So that's what I do. And it was.
You prefer teenagers? What you're saying, sweetie?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I understand, and there's nothing wrong with that because all children need a home. So I'm not going to judge anybody for their preference, because if you deal with what you think is best for you, and that's all that matters, is that you
there's
prefer older children. Okay.
A lot of people, want babies and little kids,
and they do, and that's a known fact that people prefer to adopt babies, and we know why. They don't have a personality as an infant.
That's correct. That's
correct. Okay. Thank you. I respect you for your honesty. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. Now, after I done grilled you, tell me what you think about the video surveillance, them getting in the car with 4 children, then 2 days later reporting only 2 missing. Give it to me.
What I was going to say is, what baffles me about this case is I don't understand how, like, CPS is not coming forward and saying, okay.
But they can't.
Right, I know. But somebody has seen these kids. Somebody knows something. And the reason I say that is I have 3 children in my home. And I see DCS. There's 3 workers. There's my worker, and they each have a worker.
Okay.
And my worker is in my home twice a month. Their worker's in their home twice a month. So I'm just really baffled as to how these kids have just disappeared off the grid.
Okay. Yes.
Somebody knows something, because
of course they do.
I know they have adopted children, but they still had a couple children that were.
And we don't even really know that, Kim. That started out with 2 biological, 2 foster, 2 adoptive. 2 adoptive are the ones that's missing. But then as Chief Walker started giving interviews, that changed. What foster ended up being adoptive. So then it went from 2 biological to 4 adoptive. What is the truth?
Yeah, what is?
And I'll tell you something else that baffled me. When Chief Walker had to retract the fact that he didn't even know that one of the children's femur had been broken before they were in the system. That was the reason why that one went into the system. That was baffling. So I thought, you mean to tell me a social worker didn't tell this man that one of the children had a broken femur, and that was the reason why he was put in the system in the first place? That's stuff that man was supposed to know.
Well, and it takes, like I said, I'm a nurse, and I know it takes a lot to.
I heard it's the strongest bone in the body. Let me tell you something, Kim. I only knew about the femur until I heard my mother, who had stage 4 breast cancer. The cancer had spread from the left breast to the femur. And that's how I knew what the femur was. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't even know what the hell they were talking about in this story. So that always stays in my mind, that femur.
Yeah.
And you are not the first professional to ever come in this live to tell me about the femur bone.
Yeah. That had to be some severe abuse. I mean, severe abuse to break a femur.
Well, look, whether you want to call it crack, broke, it's all the same. It's a damn baby.
It is. I just.
He made it get. He was jumping around. He couldn't walk. For those dodo birds in the chat and listening to all that dumb stuff, that baby couldn't even turn over. So he couldn't have broke a femur, cracked it, because he could not walk. He was only about a couple months old. What, 3 months or so? Come on now.
There's no way. I don't.
Man. Oh, wow. Disrespectful.
The whole thing.
Yes.
And it's like they were talking too, which this is kind of off the subject, but going back to the Tennessee requirements, I heard somebody say they were on food stamps. In Tennessee, you cannot be on food stamps and foster children.
What? Really?
You cannot.
Wait a minute, Queen. Oh, you giving the Queen some tea now. I'm going to write that down. Wait a minute. Put that in my notes. Okay. So in case I have to use it for a reference for another story. Amen. Okay.
Yeah, because I've seen people go to classes.
Okay.
That information come out and they'll say, I'm sorry, you can't be in this class and you can't be a foster parent if you're on food stamps. Like, you have to be able to.
Oh, the parent herself or himself can't be.
The foster parent.
Okay.
Foster parent
Okay. Let me put that down. Foster, to make sure I clarify that. Okay. Foster parent. Wow. Interesting.
Now they get to keep like their, because here, I'm sure we have 10 care versus, everywhere else. I think it's medical.
Yes, we do. Yes, 10 care. Yes, ma'am. I know about 10 care. Yes, ma'am.
The kids get to keep that. They all automatically have that.
Yes.
The only other thing that you can qualify for in Tennessee is up to 5 years old. You can get WIC for those children, but you can.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So you right now as a nurse or professional, you make a decent income. You can naturally get WIC for the children if you had smaller children that needed WIC. Okay.
Yes.
So right now, let me ask you this. Do they give you food stamps for those said foster children that you foster?
No, because
write that down.
The WIC is specific to that child.
Okay. Let me write that down.
Get food stamps. Anybody can use the food stamp. So you're not necessarily just using children.
So no food stamps. Wait. So wait a minute. You got foster children in your care. Even if they're 10, 12, you don't get no food stamps?
Nope. Not in the state of Tennessee. You don't.
No food stamps? Dang. Just WIC.
Just WIC.
And how old does the WIC stop?
I think it's up to, I was trying to remember. I don't want to tell you wrong. I want to say like 5.
5 years old?
I think.
So we know that you all in Tennessee ain't getting them for the check, I guess. I don't know. Some might still, but Lord have mercy.
No.
Girl, you done gave the Queen some info. Thank you so kindly.
You're so
I appreciate that.
That's why when I was listening, I'm like, wow, things seem really different in California than they are in Tennessee, because you have to have a full-time, or
full-time job. Yes. Okay. Sandy Lee Roberts said WIC is up to 5. Sandy, are you here in the great state of Tennessee?
You have to be able to prove you can make a living, on your own and support these kids.
Well, I guess they're tired. The state is like most states. They give out a lot of money a month for various things such as food stamps, the welfare check, the WIC, and so forth. And it's a daunting task. And naturally, there are going to be people who are going to defraud the government, but it's a daunting task nonetheless. And you want people that's going to want children for the right reasons. I believe one of the ladies in the chat said they took in kids and they didn't get any assistance. They helped out through a church or something. Somebody was in need, a child, and they went out of pocket
Yes.
Taking care of the child. But that's the point. You're supposed to be doing it for the right reasons. And my thing is this: if you know that you honestly can't do it financially, then don't do it. Don't put yourself in a bind just because you love kids, because that's going to be stressful if you're now taking in children, but you can't afford to take care of them. Now that's going to become a burden. It's going to affect your attitude, your disposition. Now you're going to be no good use to the child or yourself because you're struggling.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay.
It's a lot of stress. And, you know, I don't know why anybody would do it for the check. I don't understand that, because the amount of groceries that I buy for teenagers.
Oh, they eat more than small babies.
Yes, they do. I don't even want to venture what I spend on groceries a month.
Yes.
It's scary.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much. All super chats are welcome during the live. Thank you so much. And if you want to donate to the Queen in the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all so much. God bless all of you. Kim, I really thank you so much for talking to me. So Kim, let me ask you this.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think the children are alive?
I pray that they are.
Okay.
I really do. But I don't know.
Okay.
It's just, I've never had such mixed feelings, but it's like I have such.
Well, because you're listening to other things. If you go to other avenues listening to said information pertaining to the children, you can get your mind befuddled.
Yeah.
With information. Yes.
And this bio mom, and I'm like, okay, hold up. You're begging for these children. Okay. She's not begging for these children. I think that's all a show. That's just my opinion. Because there's a reason they were in foster care to begin with. Like I said, they give these folks a ton of time, a ton of opportunity. They pay for drug screens, rehab, whatever they need to get on their feet to be successful to get their children back. They help them do.
Okay. Gypsy says, I don't believe the boys are alive. No way someone is hiding them from the FBI. No way. I don't believe they're hiding either. I never thought they were alive day one. When I watched the two people speak, Jacqueline and Giselle, I feared the worst at that time, back in December of 2020. That's just from my experience of watching a lot of true crime and children going missing, grown people going missing. I feared the worst. Now, there is that small chance that we have learned that they could be alive. You do find out later that people are alive that went missing. But that's the thing. They've got to be able to escape or be released for us to know that they were alive.
Right. And it's like there's such a huge reward for these kiddos.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't imagine, because somebody's gonna be wrapped up in wanting that money. I just can't believe somebody has not come forth with something. I mean, something. I mean, there's nothing. And I don't personally think these kids ever made it to Cal City.
Okay. Many people feel that way. I've heard a lot of people say that. A lot of people said that, ma'am.
Yeah. And they're 3 and 4. They're not going anywhere real fast. I mean, they're toddling around.
Sonia Crow says, I still think the daddies have them hidden. Well, like somebody said, what are the odds that 2 different baby daddies would come and kidnap their kids? That don't sound right to me.
No, it doesn't me either.
No. Yes. So you saw the video of them getting in the van with the 4 children.
I haven't got
coming back.
Looking for it, and I come across you, and you were live, and I was.
Oh yeah, I don't show any videos on my channel. There is another. It's on YouTube. If you just type in under the search bar, this is the kids and video. It should come up on another person's channel. Okay. I don't mention other people's channels in my chat, but you'll be able to watch it and you can tell me what you think. But I'm going to give you the hypothesis. I'm going to give it to you and just tell me what you think. There is video surveillance from a neighbor home showing the parents getting in the van allegedly with 4 children on the 19th. They returned home without the 4 children. They stated 2 days later when they reported 2 missing the two that we all know about, that they took the 4 to a mother's home, grandparent, but they didn't specify if it was his mother or her mother. So what you have to ask yourself is this: then where were the 2 on the 19th when you was only putting 4 in the van?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Or which 4 was it? You know, is it? I know they
say that. Come on.
Right.
Niecy B is telling the truth. I'm finally, somebody said it. See, y'all don't listen. You come up with all these crazy ideas of what you think's going on. Niecy B, thank you. What man you know looking for responsibility? Daddies don't have them. No child support, no problems. Amen. Thank you.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to kidnap my kid that I didn't even want in the beginning. I keep trying to tell y'all, stay woke. Think before you speak.
Yeah.
I didn't want the kids in the beginning.
Now I was going to say,
they try to help the baby mama in the beginning. And now all of a sudden, she didn't do what she needed to do to comply with the state rules to get her kids back. And voila, now I want my kids back. Come on with me now.
I don't agree. I don't agree with, no. She doesn't want those kids back. There's something fishy there too.
Oh, so you do. Thank you, Queen.
There's
Queen stay woke.
Yeah.
Because like I keep trying to tell y'all, I know stuff y'all don't know about Ryan Dean.
It's, why now?
And let me tell you, if the Queen could put it down, she put it down.
Yeah,
I put it all the way down.
Stuff before
she don't care nothing about her kids. I'm gonna put it like this: she cared more about Ding Ding than her kids.
That's sad. It's really sad.
The same way she got them, that's what she cares about. The male penis.
Yep. Oh my gosh.
I've never seen a young person. You know what she reminds me of? She just reminds me of a low down young Negro that all you want to do is screw, have sex, and walk away after you done got it and keep it moving. That's what I think of with the bio donor. That's all she cares about.
We got some white women like that too.
Well, it don't matter. Arab, Jew, white, black, Indian, Mexican, Puerto Rican, Honduran, whatever the hell you want to call them. All she care about is sex. That should be obvious to you. You got 4 with 4 different daddies, not one husband. Not one husband. And when you first realized you were struggling with your first child, you should have said, hell, I ain't got no friends, no family. Ain't nobody trying to help me. I ain't doing this. Oh, I'm going to take the pill, Depo, something. IUD, the injection in my arm. I don't want no kids.
Right.
I'm not going to have no more kids. She's not having kids.
Yes, plenty of opportunity to take care of that, however that needs to be taken care of.
Amen. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining me. Yeah, there's no way I'm going to keep having kids and I'm struggling with the one.
Right.
I'm not going to go get knocked up again and I'm struggling with baby number 1.
Right. And then 3 more.
And then, amen. And then guess what, Kim? Not by the same baby daddy. That would still be just as ratchet. You went and found a new victim and got laid up. Then you went and got another victim, got laid up. Then you went and got another victim, laid up. Then you got another victim, laid up. Help me, I'm drowning.
Well, and here's the thing. Here's the real thing. It's the poor children that are the victims in all of it.
Yes. Tasha, they gave a description of what the kids were wearing. They did give a description. But no sane person is going to keep laying up having kids with no viable income, job, car, place to live. It makes no logical sense.
No.
When you have your first child and you struggle with child number 1, you got the right mind to say, I am not about to get pregnant with baby number 2. And I don't care if you got a place to live, a job, a car, you stay at your mama house, grandmama house, shelter. You're not trying to get pregnant with baby number 2 and so forth. Come on now.
And if you got a job and you're really paying attention to baby number 1, you don't have time for baby 2, 3, and 4.
If that's how you're trying to be.
Right. Especially, being a single person. I mean, sounds like a single
That stuff she spit out in that interview with, I got a job, I got a car, I got a place to live. You may have all that at that time when they filmed you. But your MO says you did not keep those things when you were lying down making children unprotected with these different men. The word on the street is you never kept a place to live, a car, money, job. You were a couch surfer. So to be sitting there in this, whatever you got going on, and say, well, I got a house, I got a car, I got this, that means nothing, because guess what? You still didn't fight for your kids. And I know you didn't fight for your kids because I believe the source. You didn't fight for your kids.
No, she didn't, because
you never fight it. Because what people don't know is the first set of children that are older, the boy and girl, their fathers were keeping them periodically anyway, while Ryan Dean was still laying up making the last 2 babies. Come on with it.
Well, and she'd have been doing all that, she would have had her kids back, and she would have kept her kids.
Well, the lady that works for Kern County's health department, not health department, but the Department of Human Services, who spoke in the beginning of this case and gave a news interview, she said, she's the director of the Department of Human Services, CPS. She said, we don't want your kids.
No. Reunification is...
That's what she said. Yes. We want you to have your kids if we think you are worthy to get them back.
Absolutely.
We don't want your kids.
Yep. That's what we work towards all the time. If you can be stable, be on your feet, like you said, show you're worthy, keep a job, keep a car.
That's it. And that's what people with all these wild conspiracies and Illuminati. Man, grow up. Yeah. Join the real world. Don't nobody want your babies?
No, they don't.
They can barely feed themselves. What the hell? The Illuminati? Well, who the hell are they?
Yeah, it's, people are
like, they want your kids for? To do what with them?
Yeah, CPS just comes in and takes your kid. No, CPS don't just come in.
Oh, yes. Cloak and daggers. They're chanting at night in a circle. Let's see how many kids we can get out of Bakersfield and Cal City. Let's roam the streets and get all these children. Don't know you from Adam, but allegedly they know that they're, just stupid talk.
It is stupid.
Stupid, irresponsible, ignorant talk.
That's why I was just so shocked at this case.
Yes, they want to keep you with the mother, but you gotta be worthy to be able to keep the kids. If you've done something very foul with your kids, there's a chance they're not gonna give your kids back, because it depends on what it is. Such as the state of Tennessee. If you use meth, it was an automatic 1 year before you could even see your children.
Yeah, they require, hair follicles, nail follicles. Yeah,
that's yes.
But if they suspect, Tennessee don't mess around.
This state is tired. I can tell you that. I live here. Yeah, and I'm telling you about this state. Your happy tail like to smoke meth, shoot it up, whatever y'all do with meth. Let them run up in your house and find meth in your house. You need not never go to the judge petitioning wanting to see your kid. He gonna tell you, bye, Felicia.
Yeah, because
you're not going to see your children no day soon.
No, and you may not see them at all.
Yeah, because they're tired.
Yeah, because that's meth. Not that a lot of things aren't, but meth,
because they're tired. They're tired.
Here.
Yes, they're tired of dealing with people on drugs, selling drugs, run up in the house with meth, this and that. And what you have to tell yourself, people who use drugs, it is hard for a lot of people to stop using narcotics.
Yes,
see, that's what you have to think about. That even if you go through a program, you do everything you need to do, we give you your kids back. How do we know? Hell, we won't be hearing this story again 2-3 months down the line.
Yeah, and that's another thing here in Tennessee too. I don't know how they do everywhere else.
Right.
After your kids come home,
yes,
they usually, DCS will stay in the home to make sure that the stabilization continues for about 3 months usually.
Okay. Huda says everyone is suspect if foul plays involved. Yes, Huda, I will agree with you on that. We don't even know what we're talking about. We don't even know what we're dealing with the West clan, Jacqueline Trezell and extended family. We don't know much about this bio donor and the baby daddies and their extended family. But one thing I will say, I stick to what has been said from the beginning. Nobody has come forward on behalf or against the adoptive parents. The bio mother has been the only one that we've gotten a little bit of information on, but she vanished after first coming forward, which I find suspect. She chants and moans all the time, periodically, whatever, on Facebook, but that means nothing to me either. You didn't carry the weight to keep the kids in the beginning. Why in the hell would I think you would be a worthy person to get your kids back? You weren't even really crying in that interview when you said, I'll do whatever. Well, Heifer, had you done whatever, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, that was my whole thing.
So you all can rally with her if you want to. I'm not.
No, I'm not either. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that at all.
You want a smoking chief like what you did this past weekend at Club 1933? Hello, for those of you that ain't woke. She was dropping it like it was hot the weekend at Club 1933 in Bakersfield. Hey, I'm all for everybody getting a little fun. I want to go party myself. I want to go have a drink or two and go to the bar club, but I ain't. But I ain't got no small children, and I ain't rallying for no small children to get back in my custody. The point I'm trying to make is she never did what she was supposed to do in the beginning, and now here it is. She's still living the life that she was living when they were in her womb, after they were taken from her, and years thereafter when they were in the West custody. She never fought for them afterwards. So why you want to now tell the news, oh, yeah, I want my kids back. I'll do whatever. But we ain't seen you. We ain't heard from you. Don't nobody even know. You change your hair color with the wind. Every damn photo on your Facebook page, you got a different hair color, ponytail, eyelashes from here to damn New York. Heifer bye.
Kind of sounds like Casey Anthony, doesn't it? Out partying.
All day long. All day long. You don't want your kids back because guess what? You sitting up here, you ain't thinking about your kids because the two that's walking around, you don't even call those two. So what you going to do with two little itty bitty ones? 5 and 6, 4 and 5. What you going to do with them two? Y'all better stay woke. Who going to keep your kids when it's time to go to the club? Y'all better stay woke.
Which is probably why they're in foster care.
You ain't trying to keep them kids home, girl. You ain't about to do nothing with them kids, because let me tell you something. I keep trying to tell y'all, stay woke. Your family didn't come to the rescue day one when you lost custody to get them back. Where was your mama? Where was your stinking daddy who loved to stay up in folks' inbox, threatening them, telling them to stay out of Callie's business? I ain't in Callie's business. You made everyday shenanigans.
Well, and that's the
privy to the information.
Saying, oh, my family's great. I come from a good background. Okay.
No, she'll come from a good background because nobody got her kids when the state took her kids. Why they ain't with her daddy? Why they ain't with her mama? Hell, y'all ain't thought about that. Where's her biological mama?
Yes.
Where's her daddy at? Where's her mama's sister, cousin? Where her grandparents at? Where's her daddy's parents? Where's her mama's parents? I keep trying to tell y'all, stay woke. Keep on listening to all that gossip if you want to. You ain't listening to what's been given to you. They already told you the story. Ain't none of them folks got those kids day one.
That's what I mean, I have grandchildren, and if they went into state's custody, I would be hello, those are my kids. I bring them here. They wouldn't be going to foster care. I would be knocking the doors down.
Real deal. Who thinks of the club? Ryan Dean. She thought of the club. She don't mind dropping it like hot. Like I told you, that's a big gal. She don't mind putting on her as Air Force One love to say yoga pants or whatever you call them. She put her stretch leggings on and that heifer drops it like it hot with a blunt in her mouth. Did you hear what I said?
That's
she wide open. Because guess what? While y'all sitting here rallying for, ask yourself who's gonna keep them two babies while Ryan Dean want to pop for the weekend. And like I said, we all human. Everybody needs air. Everybody needs to be able to go out, have fun, enjoy themselves, but you're not thinking logically.
Nope.
Who would keep her kids right now when that heifer decides she want to go hit the club and run out in the street and run around and go be in the club, the streets, chiefing, smoking, drinking, where your kids at? Yeah, all right.
I agree, because if that's the case, then somebody would have already stepped up and they wouldn't have been in the care of someone else.
From the beginning. Yes. One of her parents would have had her kids.
Yes, they would.
The state deemed her fit to get her kids back. You don't find it strange. Not her mama, daddy, auntie, cousin, grandmama, granddaddy got her kids while she fought to get her kids back. So miss me with the she's sorry. I feel sorry for her. She looked like she's sorry. Well, you must don't really know because you don't watch my content because the queen, they keeps the queen in the know of what's going on in California.
Well, and like I said, I mean, they will go way down the line. I mean, if you are a fit relative, it don't matter if cousin or a grandma. Because again, reunification it is the initial thing. But if that can't happen right away, they're going to try to place children with family before they put them in foster care.
Yes, because like I said, they don't want your kids.
Right. And the best thing for the kids is to be with family. That's where you want them. You know, if like you said, if you're worthy and it's fit and it's stable, that's where you want your.
Yes. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much, Kim.
You're so welcome.
Because I'm almost an hour 3. Thank you so much for everything. Feel free to join me anytime. Again, I appreciate you giving me information on being a foster parent in the great state of Tennessee. God bless you. God bless your plight, your spirit, your mind, your heart for helping these children who need a place to live. It's a daunting task.
My pleasure.
Yes, because my one of the tellers at my bank is considering fostering children, and when I last spoke to her, which was probably about a month or so ago, she was being inspected. Them coming to her home, so more than likely she's probably passed the inspection and everything. And I told her just make sure this is what you really want to do, because I told her, I said, I talk about this on my channel, and don't do this for the wrong reasons.
And here's the other thing, Queen. Here's the other thing. If they were tired of these children, or they were rambunctious, or they were this, or they were that, if indeed they had not been adopted and they were still in foster care, you can get respite for these children. You're allowed so much respite a month. I know in Tennessee, which my children, when I take a vacation, they go with me. I don't, I don't. I think maybe once I have utilized respite, but I try to treat these children like as if they were my very own. I would not want someone to leave my children behind.
Right.
They've already been traumatized and they've already been left.
Yes.
They need to be with you. They need to see what a family unit does.
Yes.
And I just try to include them in everything.
Yes.
But like I said, if these kids were so rambunctious,
so disrespectful, because you're supposed to speak highly of a person when they are missing.
Right.
To say that about a child or anybody is so disrespectful, because you are putting them in a negative light. You can't in one breath say they're missing and then say something negative about them. I mean, I don't care if you're talking about a homeless person, a person that's known to use narcotics, a drug dealer. That is not the time to say anything negative about them, because you're wanting people to know them and to give information to the whereabouts of that said person. So you don't say anything negative about them, even if you know negative things are going to come out about them. That's not the time or the place.
I totally agree. It's not. It's totally improper.
Yeah, it's very improper. And that's why I knew something was up with these two. To say, if you see them now, they'll be rambunctious. Well, you're basically telling me that's what the hell they was doing with you. That's probably why you got them gone.
Well, and here's the
tired of dealing with them.
They're little kids. Of course they're rambunctious. All little kids are, they're full of energy and they want to play, and there's things they want to, of course. What 3, 4, 5 year old, what is it?
Tasha's right. He spoke subconsciously. That's why I kept trying to tell you all that's what they were doing. They were speaking, what is it, sober thoughts?
Yes.
That's what he did when he made that comment about him being rambunctious. That's what Jacqueline did when she said they picked them up. You're speaking of what actually happened without basically saying, I gave them away. I handed them off. I knocked them off, which is horrible.
It's nervous chatter.
Nervous chatter. Amen. Real Deal says, Caller, you sound like what a real loving foster parent should be.
Oh,
thank you. Amen.
I try. I'm not perfect, but I do try.
Yeah. Kim, I want to thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm going to pray for you that you continue to do the work that you're doing. And then pray that you adopt the baby that you're going to adopt. And I pray that those other kids, that their parents will do right in order to get them back in their care. And if not, the state keeps them until they find them a suitable home, whether foster care or adoption. God bless you for what you're doing, baby.
Thank you. And
thank you so much, Kenny. And I thank you for calling, and I have much respect for you.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay, baby. Love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye. That was Kim from East Tennessee. I'm going to check out of here. I want to thank the mods. I want to thank all of you for joining me and your commentary during the chat. I want to thank John Q for joining me and the other people who joined the live panel. I want to pray for anybody that is a foster parent today, anybody that is an adoptive parent. I want to pray that your spirit is right, that you adopted the children for the right reasons. You fostered the children for the right reasons. Because you see, if you didn't foster or adopt children for the right reasons, then you're not doing a service to the children and you're not doing a service to yourself, because these children are tainted. They came from the belly of the beast and they deserve the best because they are children and they didn't ask to be here, as none of us as adults asked to be here. We didn't choose our parents. We didn't choose the people that raised us, but we are here nonetheless. So if you are in the adoption fostering business, please think it over carefully before taking a child into your home, because you are dealing with somebody else's child, whether they ever see the child again or ever get the rights to have their child again. It is a child. And a child has every right to be happy, to be prosperous. And he or she cannot do that if they are in the wrong hands and guided by the wrong people. Thank you all for joining me. Know that all super chats are welcome during the live. If you want to donate to the channel, $ Big Angie 129 Cash App. Thank you all for joining me. God bless all of you. I will bring you more commentary pertaining to the missing boys of Cal City. I will bring you more information to updates to other stories. The next live will be pertaining to Derek Chauvin. His attorney is now filing a motion, oh Lord, for some discrepancies in this case and asking for an appeal, a new trial in the murder of George Floyd. This is Everyday Shenanigans. Thank you all for joining me.